Now the camera's on you.
We can't swear for 15 seconds, Phil. Can we do that? Or
you came in here cussing and fussing.
You know, Phil,
that was you.
You're the first
and the only.
Oh, really?
Yours got demonetized.
Yeah, you said that last year. I'm like,
well, we've tried to.
We've got some reels demonetized, but not a full podcast. And yours is like over 1 million.
We had Dana White on here, and he
swore
as many times as you did, and
they didn't do nothing to him.
Yeah, I guess
because he's white.
Yeah.
I was just about to say some race.
It's race. I'm using the race card right away. No, it's Dana freaking White. That's why they're like,
see, you weren't being. He was just talking his last name.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah.
What's up, Phil? You're looking huge, bro.
I'm trying to live like you.
You got,
Dana.
dude. You walk in here. You got all this. Show me what you got on here. You got the ring. You got the.
Yeah, I got my watches and stuff.
Got the rollies. Got the Owen medallion out.
Yeah, you know. Living the dream, man.
Did you walk out there like that?
I sure did. I did not care. Yeah. I did not care. I was like, you know what? Like, people know me for that. It's the only time you see me at the Olympia, you know, doing this. So it is all good.
I don't know if you probably pay attention to our podcast. We've been hyping you a lot lately.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. We hyped you about.
You know what? That means you don't listen.
Germany, yeah.
I see the clips because I share them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thanks. This is dope.
We talked about you in the pose down in Germany when we did the pose down. And what we say?
I still think there's 750 up for grabs in March, and I think you could get it.
You guys, we already know the deal.
Exactly. That's why you just.
It's not about. Let's just cut it. This is. We're not going to curse.
Okay, it's not 750. It's 1 million because you could do the one 2 weeks later.
You know what I want, and it sounds selfish and stuff, but since I've been on, you know, off the Olympia stage for 5 years now, you got to pay me something just to show.
Do you know?
You got to.
About to say
you got to pay something.
Hold on. Be careful what you wish for, because the last time he said if you raise 1 million, people messaged said we'll put the 1 million up. So
what do you? I mean, the 1 million to win.
No, they were going to put 1 million for him just to do it,
just to get back on stage and.
So why didn't you do it?
Because, dude, I was like,
he'll get
busy.
Smoked.
Yeah, I would get killed.
Smoked.
But you have 1 million. Like
my waist is wider than my shoulders, bro.
When did they provide this offer?
When I was doing Fit for 50.
Yeah, you don't need to be doing no gear.
So listen. Be careful before you wish.
Know you.
What?
What I tell you about 40.
So we're. Oh my God! So we're backstage at the Olympia, right, in the Orleans.
This is dead serious.
And he goes, "We're not going to curse," but he goes, "F, bro. If I'm doing this past 40, I'm a effing, like I'm a freaking moron, dude. Like, don't let me do it. Like, if I ever do that,
and now you're trying to get him to do it, and he's like,
right, I'm 40. I'll be 46 at the end of the year. I'm like,
what a friend you are.
Yeah.
Arnold Arcade. Blast through aggressive lasers. Stack power in Flextras. Chase glory in chasing gains. Play solo. Team up with a friend or battle online. And best of all, like the live stream, it's all free. Arnold Arcade. Download yours today.
It's close to your birthday, right?
You're
in November?
Damn, mine's in a couple
December.
weeks. I'll be 47. Yeah, I'm like.
Yeah, I'm
10 months older.
I'm the week before Christmas. So yeah. Look, let's just keep it a full stack here. I said, and I'm not going to say to who, you guys can do your thing and piece it all together. I said back after 2020 Olympia, that was my last in my, my inner circle. I think everybody kind of knew. And then there was an opportunity like, hey, would you like to come back and this and that? And I said, look, like I've had the injuries, I've had all that stuff. I really just want to. And at that same time, I was being represented by Danny Garcia. I was trying to get into acting and stuff, and that didn't pan out. Still got paid for not doing a role, but
hey, you're a winner.
Exactly. But my thing was, I should be compensated in some way to put forth that type of effort.
Of course.
Because you're not going to see another opportunity of someone that has won 7, given the right circumstances of him training, meaning me, talking in third person, whatever, that I could definitely hunker down, do the work. I mean, I watch what you guys say on the podcast. Like, I know how to suffer. I know, and now with even science and everything else, you know what I would take with that money? I would use it for recovery. I'd do the stem cells. I do, because I tore my MCL freaking 2018. Got stem cells for that. But like all those things, you hear about like Chris doing stem cells for his autoimmune and other things. I would love to do that for a show, but I did share with the Olympia that I feel like there should be some type of negotiation, sponsorship, whatever. Because, back in the day, Joe Weider's Olympia, we were basically sponsoring athletes to do the show. And they said, basically, we make the same amount of money if, whether you do the show or not. And I'm like, but I get that because they have the data. But what I will say is you take away the opportunity for people to see whether they root for me or not. A 7-time Mr. Olympia having the opportunity to go for number 8. So I brought up an idea of having a 3-year contract where you would pay me X amount of money and then I could devote a full year of just training. I would journal it. I would share it through their platform. Of course, people would be like, holy smokes. And I would come to the Olympia. Actually, you guys would know, Phil's back to 275. He's 280. He's obviously not retired. And then I would just announce it at the Olympia that next year I'm coming for this person, this person, this person. And we know the business of bodybuilding, right? We've already been in it for 20 some years. But once that time elapsed, it was like, well,
it just passed.
It just passed. And now I'm 45. I'm like, well, that's a little too late. But if someone were to, I'll be honest. I mean, look, if someone said, here's 10 Bitcoin.
An offshore account.
Right? in a trust. Right?
Fit Club started right here at the Strip, off Hacienda and Decatur. The energy, the grit, the place that set the standard for Vegas fitness. Then came Northwest, near Summerlin, sharing the Fit Club gym culture and vibes across Las Vegas. And the crown jewel, Henderson, a cutting-edge space designed for bodybuilders, competitors, and anyone chasing their best self. Fit Club Las Vegas, now with 3 locations.
Yeah, sign me up. You know what I mean? Just go get it.
So, Jay, can you find 10 Bitcoin?
Before it drops to nothing. Before it drops to nothing.
I bet you he can.
Well, Jay knows everybody's.
You know someone who's probably got a couple thousand laying around.
Yeah.
They'll cough up. Yeah,
in a
10
cold
that
wallet.
they paid $200 for.
In a cold wallet somewhere. Yeah. Those guys are not giving up anything. But yeah, I mean, look, I love competition. I will say that I'm probably, if not the most competitive Mr. Olympia. I love that fire. I love that stage. But at the same time, I have other things going on in life. So, in my heart of hearts, I'm like, no, I would never want to do it. But then you would be silly to turn down 7 figures to go do a competition that you have an opportunity. Plus, you could win some more money.
Still win it. Yeah.
You can still win it.
And the money you can make along the way with all the
right
monetizing everything. I mean,
for sure. I mean, that comes with that. But it's just, for me, it would be more of the story.
Yeah.
The storyline of, oh, he's going for number 8 again. I mean, I post, video and people will be like, why not just do it one more time? And I'm like, I did that in 2020. But, Jay could coach me.
What do you think? Would you coach Phil?
I can't keep up with the protocol.
He'd be like, you're fat, bro.
I just walked in and I called Phil small, back then. And he said, I came and ripped at my first show. I said, yeah, but you were small. How much you weigh in your first show? You had big arms. That's about it, right?
I'm sorry? What?
You had big arms back then.
Yeah.
Your legs were a little weaker, though.
Legs
How
were
much
weak.
did you weigh in your first pro show?
First pro show?
Like 208.
208?
Yeah.
I was light.
You'd be classic.
Yeah, that I could have done classic naturally at that weight cap.
Don't say that. You'll offend a bunch of people.
Why?
I don't know. People just look for reasons to get pissed.
That's on them. Look at my high school pictures. I was already ripped back then. Like, what are we talking
did you
about?
train today, or
Yep.
How'd it go?
Good. I ran into Shannon Sharp.
Oh yeah, nice.
He said
Philly.
he said he wants you on his show. He's like,
There you go.
DM Jay. Okay.
On Club Shay? You gonna do
No,
club,
it's- I
or
think
the
for-
podcast
Yeah,
on the
I think it's
nightcap?
for like the
Oh, the Club Shay Shay, I thought.
Club Shay?
Oh, like the one, the interview that he does. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he does Club Shay.
Interviews.
Yeah, you should consider it. I mean,
Trains at Torture. It's like right by my house.
I'd do it if I were you. What do you have to lose?
I'd love him to come on this podcast.
That's true. It'd be a good swap, if you do a swap. That would be dope. But I think you would have to do it a certain
When you
certain
start,
period
you
of
start
time.
potting, it's like you like when seeing like the reaction of what people think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it gives people a lot of opportunity to come on to a podcast that like we make sure that people feel like, I feel like I ask questions to let them expand themselves on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That And we put on a lot of people that might not get on a lot of pods, you know, and it's like,
Yeah.
I think all the stuff that's remote, it's a little harder.
I
Do it
agree.
in person.
All right, take two. Hey guys, if you have not heard, I've launched my own TRT clinic. TRT Kingdom is now live. And if you'd like to schedule on consult or get more information, make sure you guys go over, check it out, and let us see how we can help with your health needs.
Click the link below.
Shit.
Say click the link below.
Okay. Click the link below.
Yep.
You get a little more gist of it. It's entertaining to watch. I know a lot of people are doing their cardio, watching these podcasts. So I'm excited. I'm glad you came out.
Yeah.
I know you're busy doing. What are you doing for this Olympia?
Just the commentary. I mean, I was at the press conference earlier today. That was different, you know, because they had myself, Flex Lewis, and Chris Bumstead up there, and we were just talking about those Olympia moments.
How long did you get to speak for? A while?
Collectively, I think we spent like a good, I want to say 30, 40 minutes. It was a good enough time, I think. You know, we weren't taking the questions from the audience or anything like that, but I felt like it was a good opportunity for us to kind of, like you say, expand on our journey. Experiences and what the Olympia really meant. There was no jabs. There was none of that. There was no Matt Daniels questions of like, who is really Mr. O? I know
Who is Mr. O?
I know you wanted that question to be asked, but that was stayed away.
Did you speak last or?
No, I spoke. Chris spoke last, but they had to move on with the show, so they kind of cut it short, which he was okay with.
It kind of looked like they brought you guys out, and then after you guys left, they brought out the four Mr. Olympias that are competing.
Yes,
because Brandon, Hottie, Derek, and
Derek
Samson. And then they brought them off, then they brought the classic group in.
Yeah.
No. Actually, they brought Nick Walker and Urs out. And Behruz.
Okay.
So did they pick and choose people that they like? Not everyone participated.
No. I should say that. After that, they took them out, and the next ones were Martin, Andrew, Behruz, Urs, and Nick.
Yeah.
And then I saw that then they brought out the classic guys and the bikini girls. And,
a lot of divisions. Yeah.
A lot of divisions.
Was there a lot of people or?
Oh yeah, there was. I'll be honest. I was like, okay, a lot of people in that tent. You know, like everybody was in there. They were very excited.
Is it where we did Did you do the Hall of Fame thing
yes.
last year?
Yeah, but it was packed. It was more packed there than the Hall of Fame last year. So, I mean, they did a good job with that. I didn't stay for the remainder of it, obviously, because I had to come here. But I thought, well, look, at the end of the day, I'm glad that we get to spend these times together. Of course, we're all traveling, doing our own business and stuff. But when we do get that moment, we make it happen, right? So,
should we talk about a new venture that Phil's getting into now?
Well, actually, I have a gift. Not for you, man. You already had.
I already got mine, and mine's already been rated.
Yes. So this is a care package from Sheree and I and our team over at 7X Labs. It's our new supplement company. We were very intentionally focused on bringing back sports nutrition.
I've seen this on
social
media, but I didn't see a sign of me, Phil.
Nope. You're the first one. And this is how great of a friend Jay is. You know, he ain't no hater like some folks. You know, like he owns his own brand, and he's willing to shout me out.
This is really cool. So, there's some gummies in here.
Yeah, so we got our creatine gummies. We have our hydration. We have the Dream Killer pre-workout in both flavors of. Yeah.
You turn into like a Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, you know I love that.
And what is this from?
That's a Sheila G plus KSM 66 ashwagandha. So, yeah, we.
For real,
I
you gotta
appreciate
be
it.
careful with these, though. We opened it. Now Vanessa has them hidden in the house.
Oh, really?
Because they're like candy.
They are addicting.
Open it right now and try one. You'll see.
Thanks, Phil. So
Yeah.
This is. I know you've been working. When was the launch date? If it hasn't happened already.
Our launch date is now November 13th.
Okay.
Yep. So we did a pre-launch where I was sending it to, my friends just to get their feedback and all that. And feedback's been great. Some people have posted online. We actually had a really very interesting post from our friend Lupe Fiasco. Yeah, he enjoyed it a lot. Send some to Nick Hogan. Lupe.
Watch it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
This is going to be a real.
Supposed to take, Phil?
Well, for
4,
you,
I think.
10, but you can take 4.
This is a real life. I tried when I was like, "Yo, where are those gummies?"
Hey,
She's
by the
like,
way, give me
"They're
some
hidden."
because I gotta need mine too.
Because I don't get my hands on them.
So make sure you sit that there. So everyone
Yeah.
check out
One link at the bottom.
7xlabs.com.
Yep. Is there any
You can go on the website. You can register. We're also doing a giveaway, another giveaway. We already had a giveaway where we did a cold plunge and infrared sauna. That guy was super excited. I cannot wait for it to arrive, and I'm going to call him. And we have more SKUs coming out, more flavors, especially in the hydration.
So the gummies, are they blue?
Blue raspberry and sour
So
apple.
the other ones, okay.
Those diet friendly.
Well, depends, right? Depends on what
You know
these
how
guys.
serious my diet is.
Well, for you, you're fine. For other guys, I think it's still diet friendly because of the fact that majority of these guys are running protocols that, I mean, come on.
They don't even know what they're taking anymore.
I mean, it's not a bad product, put it like that, but I think it's a good alternative. I mean, look, like we'll have,
Tastes like a legit gummy bear.
yeah.
Like for
Isn't it
real.
amazing how much creatine has come into.
So
Remember, it was just it was a muscle building product, and now it's like all this brain function and
more
cognitive. And
yeah, more testing.
crazy, right?
I'm glad because now it's not gender specific. Before, imagine trying to tell your girl to go take creatine. They'd be like, I don't want to get too big and this and that. And it's like,
Green water.
yeah, it's like, no, there's creatine monohydrate was like the most researched product, I think, ever, like ingredient ever. Yeah. And with this new data now, I mean, it just makes it more feasible for people to.
I'm so glad
try
you
it.
decided to, spearhead another project in supplements and not just endorse a deal.
Yeah.
Because I think that, your knowledge, and I mean, obviously the industry, it's changed through generations of what we've gone through. Every decade, things seem to come about. But, you've tried a lot of different things. You've endorsed a lot of great brands, some of the top brands. And, now to be able to collaborate on your own and kind of read your people that, stay in touch with you and continue to follow you. And, as you just mentioned your age, right?
Yeah,
So you have to be aware of those kind of things.
absolutely.
And it gives you a huge opportunity. Plus, I mean, it makes you, dude, when the feedback I get, it just makes me feel so good sometimes when people I have customers that have over 100 orders with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, why do you support it so much? And they're like, well, I always supported what you did, but I really love your products. I mean, so when you have that dedication to one product line, usually, people might buy a pre-workout and then
Right.
they're like, move on to the next one.
Correct.
But, if you build one that correctly and it's affordable for people and they love the taste, like the taste is amazing on these gummies,
Thank you.
man, it's like,
Very
that's what
fulfilling
you
for
love
you.
about,
Yeah. And I see that with you. I mean, you're doing your orders just like you always did.
Yeah, man.
And to be honest, there was a point in time where obviously competing was everything. Then post-career, you're like wondering where are you going to transition to the next thing? Was it going to be my own, personal coaching business? Was it going to just be the motivational speaking? And I did that. And then it was up until earlier this year. I was on LinkedIn. You remember Stephen Adele, from Isotory?
I don't know if I remember.
Yeah. You remember Stephen, right? They used to work with Bill Phillips way back in the day. Well, anyway, we was on LinkedIn and he was talking about how he came back from an ingredient show and he was just not happy with how certain people were endorsing bad products and bad manufacturing practices. They were just utilizing their name, brand, image, and likeness to get people to buy stuff that, just isn't on the label. So I just chimed in and, LinkedIn, we all use it. It's usually very clean and very proper, not really trash talking. And I just said, look, guys, I would love to get back in this space, but it's got to be priced right. It's got to be something that is very near and dear to my heart. I don't want to put in that type of effort and cut any corners. I'm just not going to do that. So next thing you know, my phone started ringing. I getting all these emails and I asked Cherie, I was like, would you like to do this again? She was like, absolutely. Because
It's a lot of work, man.
it's a lot of work, but at the same time, Jay, people that may not, they know who you are, but they may not know initially that you have a brand. They say, well, what do you do now that you're not competing? And you're like, I own a supplement range. And they're like, oh, that's great. Same thing what happened to me. I'm going around the world speaking at these different universities and sports teams and stuff like that. And especially sports teams, they're like, you don't have any products? You don't have any products? And I was like, oh man, it's just an opportunity missed. So, I just needed the right partnerships because I've had partnerships before. They did not pan out. And those things happen. But what did I learn? And I just pulled out a pad and just started writing if I could use a magic wand, how would I do it? And the goal was, I just want to have fun. I know it's going to create a lot of work. It's going to be stressful, but write down the connections that you have, the people that, you could be very prideful and not want to raise your hand for help. I just said, screw it, I'm raising both hands. I'm going through my Rolodex. I'm talking to different manufacturers, creating, formulations, taking old formulations, redoing them. And then even just having the awareness of working with different brands. Like, I work with Gymshark, right? So I'm like the older guy. And then I started asking some of those guys questions, like, what products do you even like? Because what I like may not be what they like, but they're going to be my market. And over time, being at these different events, putting myself in these other spaces, I was just able to figure it out. And we had a great team. We have a great team. And I'd say the future is really bright. So, yeah, November 13th, 7X Labs will be available, svnxlabs.com. Thank you. And again, it's just going to be something more fun because now I also get to do those different appearances. Like when we travel around the world, I can have my own booth. I can sell my own product. I really did enjoy doing that before. And it was, I wouldn't say I was jealous. It was just more like, damn, like I want to do what Jay and Ronnie are doing too. Like it's just, it's a way to connect with your audience and find out what they like. And then they can rely on you as a champion that you are, as a man, not just as a former bodybuilder. They can say, you know what, I'm going to support him. He's making me feel great. And I really want to see those transformations because I feel like there's a stronger connection through product and service. And that nickname of the gift is about service. I want to provide this as a gift to them to know that, look, like third party tested, you can check it out. I don't care. Like we've already done that homework for you. I definitely don't need to be getting thrashed online. So I went ahead and, created those moats. But yeah, it's just something that we're very excited about. And I cannot wait to have it, roll out through the end of this year, throughout the remainder of its existence.
Should we talk about this year's Olympia?
I think that's why we're here.
Yeah, I have a question for you both. What do you guys think of this whole thing with Classic and how there was so much chatter about the height and weight stuff? How does it work where like one contest or 1 year, a person is heighted at one spot and then the next show they're not? That doesn't make sense to me. What are your thoughts?
I'm going to say this, and I'm sure it'll piss people off, but it's not the athlete's fault. They're not hiding themselves. Their wives aren't. There's no one. Their coaches aren't. Judges are. And if you, for years and years and years and years, got it wrong, and now a week before you say you're going to change something on them, it's kind of messed up. My opinion.
Do you think it was more forward thinking on top brass to say like, hey, like we need to get ahead of this because there is chatter?
From what I understand, they did that last year, and whatever they were heighted in, that's your weight, your height from here on out. And then a week out, they changed it. That's what I was told.
I heard something very interesting that people are using, like, and we use various modalities, to get ready for shows and stuff like that. One of which I used to use, you remember this, was traction. You said lay on that damn bed, the traction table.
Yeah.
I heard that athletes are doing that right before they go get heighted.
They start 3 months out. They can gain an inch. They go to chiropractors. They have these things they do that give them an inch taller.
Isn't that funny? Jay, what is your thought about that? Because I feel like if you have to go through that type of an extreme.
Yeah. You know what? It's like Matt said, I think they should have like a standard height. Like once you get in and you compete at that level, right? You reach the Olympia level.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, there's a lot of variables that like the pads of your feet go away, depending on how dry you get.
Correct.
And
this is
like
true.
the time
Yes.
you weigh in. So they do it, I think Thursday. So the show is where they compete Saturday,
today.
I think, right?
Earlier
so.
today.
I think
So what do I think of it? I think that some media broke. Mike Summerfield was overheard saying he wasn't a height, from my understanding, that he claimed to they measured him at.
Right.
So they did a protection of like, oh, we're going to rehide everybody. So the media doesn't turn into a frenzy with the fans. Cause obviously I think some of the guys caught wind. And when you have a guy like Mike Summerfield, who obviously Phil is dominating, he came close to beating Chris last year, goes and wins the Arnold.
Yep.
He's coming to this show as like, oh, it show's over. It's like Keon, right? I mean, 212, it's sold. I of course the guy's going to be resistant. Like, hey, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Guys who aren't favored like Mike and don't have the body like Mike, they're going to say, is he legit? Let's watch. Let's make sure. But the truth is like, I've heard this for years. They need to fix it because this is a newer division. We realize like kinks or, bodies. Like,
things happen. Yeah.
We watch like Breon be the standard. Then you got C-Bum and it's like, but he's gone. So it's like open title. Just not really fair to put that much pressure on the guys, like especially guys that are walking in knowing that they're like
a centimeter off.
Their hair depends on, because I think there was.
I ain't
saying the hair was, because you got to think about it. If you put a bunch of gel in the hair, if you push down, it could be this much thick.
You don't understand. So there's a lot of.
I don't have this problem, so I'm just trying to understand. No, but seriously, I'm trying to.
So I think depending on how invasive they want to be to put it down.
Yep.
So it comes down to like, they just need to come up with a standard of like what your height is, and that's it. Because people are going to shrink. I mean, look at Milos. Milos was taller than me, shorter than me now.
Yeah,
he's probably.
I'm not saying
2 inches.
Yeah, but with gravity and as you age, like things happen with the spine and that.
If someone got heighted in the off season, and then they get heighted 2 days before a show or a day before, I'm assuming as you're dehydrating, can't things in your spine crunch down? And
it's a great question, but the truth is that's why, like, you make it to Olympia, that should be like
that's your height period.
Yeah. When you get to that level, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't look at it as
you
like,
shouldn't have to think of height. And well, what if I'm off a millimeter? Now I have to lose 8 more pounds.
Oh, so I get what you're saying. Maybe there should be like a variance of like plus or minus 1.
So let's say
maybe
like
there
that.
is, maybe there is, but
Yeah.
we don't know deep enough. It's not our division. We don't run it.
It's true.
We're not that deep in it. Classic, we didn't have to height and weight anything, Phil.
I feel like now it's like because of that. And look, I just care about the best physiques. That's all I care about.
But I understand why they put out this.
Yeah.
Because they were pressured to do it.
Yeah, you got to get ahead of the story and actually do something and be reactionary.
If they didn't do it.
Oh yeah, it would have tarnished the.
But from my understanding, and I just walked into this, they didn't show it. There weren't cameras allowed or anything like that. I think there's professional cameras, so I think they're going to release them on their own cognizance, right? So I think maybe that's the way to do it. But the problem is you let every Joe, Tom, Dick, and Harry take pictures, and everyone's like zooming in on a Chris Bumstead or the highlighted guys, Ramon Dino, and I think it's just it needs to be. I think now they're getting a handle on it, just like the whole qualification process, and hey, what shows are tiers and whatever else. They're getting a better grasp on it, so we have to support them. I mean, everything is progression. Everything is. Everything evolves.
Yep. I agree.
And now, I mean, we have we're here to talk about open. We're here to talk about open bodybuilding. And we have
100%.
potentially, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys that can win this thing.
It's insane.
Is that the closest field that we've seen in a while, Phil?
I think so, because there's no real dominant figure. They're all different. And even with that, they're all kind of at the same level, so to speak. We haven't yet to see.
Nick would argue that. Samson would argue that.
Of course,
Adi probably would if he was more vocal.
And
Derek,
and that's fair. But who has won consecutive championships? None. Okay, then.
They can argue it, but the history doesn't show that.
Correct. So you may be dominant on that one day.
I'm getting pumped up for my creatine right now. I fucking
see. He cursed, but we made it. We made it, right?
He cursed now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, F this. No, like But seriously, It's more like everybody has to feel like they're the champion in their own mind. What matters is how you're able to repeat. He and I have done this. And we also know what it looked like watching Ronnie and other people like win over and over again. Since I lost, there hasn't been, Ramy won twice. And even that was tough, right? It comes at a cost. It comes at a price. Mentally, emotionally, physically, we already know this. But if they weren't at that same level, then there would be a front runner that's just pulling a Usain Bolt and be like, y'all are just here. I think it's a great opportunity for Samson. I had talked to him at the Pittsburgh, and I just said it. I was like, dude, like, you're the biggest guy. Be the biggest guy. Don't lose to a shorter less muscular guy. And he was like, what do you mean? I say, you have to suffer, like what you said on these podcasts. I say, you got to know what that means for you. Because suffering for me was like, the stupid fish diet and 45 minutes of cardio twice a day, 100 grams of carbs, step meal, like nonstop. But other people just, I feel like they have an idea of what suffering is, but they haven't yet gone through the true depths of hell, because they also have people clapping for them nonstop. Yeah. I mean, I had a coach, Hani Rambaud, that always told me I looked like complete garbage. And you know how that felt.
You look like shit, dude.
Yeah. And you're like,
I'm like, motherfucker, you're coaching me. What's your fault?
It's your fault. I'm working my butt off. Like, what are you talking about?
If I look like shit, you're my coach.
Yeah.
It's on you.
It's on you.
Then you're fired.
We don't just fight insurance companies, we train for it. If you want results, get a lawyer that puts in the work. 107. Do you trust a lawyer that doesn't train? 102. Or a lawyer that quits when it gets tough. Pacific West Injury Law. We're built to win.
But even as an athlete, I feel like, I liked what Samson decided to do by doing that guest posing closer into the contest. And I read some of the comments. They're like, oh, he's smaller and this and that. And I'm like, dude, like, stop it. And this is where an athlete has to understand, the famous speech of the man in the arena. Like, they don't even understand what that means. Who cares? And these are the same people, now I think about it, these are the same people that said Samson was stupid for competing so close to the Olympia, that led him to take his shirt off at the Olympia last year. And people were just sitting back like, yeah, I got this. And then he comes in here and spanks him. And they did, because guess what? Hottie was off, and so was Derek a little bit. And that's bodybuilding. So with this year, I'm eager to see what Samson looks like on Friday. I'm eager to see how he poses Friday, meaning how slow can he do it? Because when he poses, he gets all into it and he's like, hit it and then hit it and then hit it. I'm like, I told him, I was like, can you just slow it down a little bit? Because none of us can really see anything that's going on. And then in that guest posing I saw, I was like, oh, okay, maybe you listen. But I'm eager to see what he looks like. You already have an idea what Hottie would look like, because he's always going to come in ripped. I'm glad that he was able to get that visa. I mean, shout out to Hani and being able to work his magic again to get his butt over here. But at the same time, he's without Hani as far as like being his coach. And I will just say it out here.
Oh, Hani's not coaching him?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
So when Hani said he was retired, I hit him up like a good month ago. And even like the past week, I talked to him literally like last week. I talked to him for like 3 hours. I was like, hey, man, how you doing? Because I know what it feels like. You know what it feels like going back to the Olympia away from the competition. And he was like, yeah, I take it day to day. I was like, well, what about Hottie? Because, there's a lot of chatter that you're training him. So he's like, well, anyone can train with me. Like, but as far as like me, like being up his butt, like making sure he does this, that, and the other, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm being committed to that. We'll just see how this goes. So I trust in the fact that that's what he's been doing, because I had breakfast with him yesterday and he wasn't checking his phone like he normally would.
Or if he'd even have breakfast.
No, he did. I watched. Normally he wouldn't. Yeah. Normally he wouldn't. He'd be up all night, and it wasn't. His stress was different, so that lets me know, as his friend, he's telling the truth. Like he would be a crazy wreck. I was walking out of the press conference, and he was, walking out as well, and he was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Doing this thing. So his demeanor was changed. Where we both know if it's Olympia time, his demeanor is more like worry ward, stress case.
I have a question for both of you. So obviously Samson is probably one of the biggest guys we've seen on stage. He's got great shape. Mm-hmm. Why is he not dominant? Like, why? Because when you look at him, you're like, you're tall, you're wide, you got all the muscle, you got everything. Why is he not just smashing these?
Because he needs more detail conditioning.
Yeah, I agree. Lacks the detail in certain areas where the other guys have it. Especially like, and even the fullness that jumps out at you in the back. I know he's improved that. That's just my take on it. I mean, like, it's hard to go against a Hottie Chupan and a Derek Lunsford that have striated glutes and all that stuff. And as much as it is a back contest, it's a glute contest as well. You got to have that conditioning. You can't just have it in the upper body or in the front of the quads. You have to have it on the side. You got to have it in the rear. And all he has to do, back to Samson, all he has to do is get close enough to their conditioning to probably repeat, in my opinion. Whereas with Derek, we were able to see him in a greater version at this year's Arnold Classic. And although he didn't equate that at the Pittsburgh, I mean, they're still learning. He's with a new coach. Like, he's still learning. You know how it is when you go backstage and you give everybody a hug and stuff. I was like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, okay, everything's there. Hottie the same. I got those three, but then you got Nick Walker, and I'm like, geez. As long as he's healthy, you know what I mean? Like, you know, before he had the injury with the hamstring and all that stuff, as long as he's prime ready to go, that's a competitive dude, man. So he's going to be fighting on that stage. Like,
Do you think
tremendous.
there's some rust from Nick Walker, though? You know, it hasn't been on Olympia stage for 2 years. Hard for a guy to come in and just, that's been missing the last two, to just come in and leapfrog everyone and just, I know he's young enough to do it. And he's so confident that he's going to win.
I guess he has to be, you know. I mean, he's going for blood now, you know. I feel like that Pittsburgh show, I was there, you know, sitting front, you know, up front, and I think it's the fans. The fans were really rude. I mean,
They love Nick Walker.
They loved him there. It's not that they didn't love Derek either. It was just that he really resonated. He really connected with that audience. And I hadn't seen that in a long time, man, where people were like, it was like the old school stuff, like when we would guest pose and people were like standing up. Like, people were standing up during prejudging doing this.
Do you like his body, Phil, or?
It's not my cup of tea. You know, mine is more like, I'll be honest, like my physique, or like I'm looking at like a Flex Wheeler, Sean Ray, like that's what I would desire to be, but that's not who he is. That's like asking Branch Warren, like, you know, hey, you could be like Flex Wheeler. It's like, no, he's going to be Branch Warren. You know, I feel like Nick has his strong points, but I like his freak factor. I like the fact that on his rear shots, his quads from the front are shaped a certain way, but from the rear, they're very wide. It's gnarly, like standing up there. I'm like, wow, like that's
back double is pretty impressive.
Back double is sick. So, and he has
Is back double better than yours?
No. No,
I think Derek's the closest look to you.
Yeah, but the legs got to come up.
Yeah, but I think this year, I've heard he's putting it together.
I saw Derek the other day at the gym, and he was looking round. Right?
But if he gets, I mean,
the legs got to be like wider from the rear.
Yes,
yeah.
And from the front too. Like, he doesn't have like the sweep.
He doesn't have the lower quads.
The sweep has to be like the shape of the, you know, vastus lateralis, medialis, like all that stuff. That has to, like, you got to have that roundness.
You know what I loved about that? Normally Phil's like, hey, he's not my cup of tea. Are their backs better than yours? No.
No. I feel like mine was different because you could see the feathering, the triceps.
Yeah.
And in the rear delts, it was good flow. You know, my skin texture is just different than everyone else's.
Yeah.
Probably just, I'm just light skinned or genetic, you know, but I just felt like my forearms from the rear, from the front, it's just different.
You just had a different level of detail.
It was just different. And I also was never chasing size. That was Jay's camp. That was his, like, I couldn't, as much as I admired Jay and Ronnie for all those training videos that they put out, all the work that they've done, I knew I had to just focus on who I was and what my strong points were. And one of them was legs. Like, you know, I still
work to get your legs.
Got to work, man. And I knew it was time too. It took a long time. And, you know, toward the end of my career, I felt like they were strong.
Yeah.
But that was also because I went against a Kai Green. I also went against Ramy. And I'm like, dude, like, in order to hold them off, you got to not best them in their best body part, but you got to accentuate yours in a greater level of detail and shape.
Why do you think a lot of guys now just seems like their legs are lacking, like a good amount of them, to where when you guys are competing, everyone had legs? Do you think there's a reason?
You think everyone had legs though?
I mean, now there's 2 or 3 guys that have crazy legs.
Yeah, that's true.
And then there's a lot that are, you know, like we were talking about someone earlier, like, yo, he's light in the quads.
Yes.
Gene pool a little bit, but
Gene
Do you
pool.
think it's to training?
You know, I'm not one of these guys that says, "Oh, we were so much better, we trained harder," because these guys train hard, man.
Yes.
You know, the protocols are different. You know, yes, some ways. I mean, you're working in a different era now, but there's a hell of a lot of talent in these shows. It just comes down to, like Phil talked about, it's a detail thing. I mean, but remember, Phil was outstanding for 7 years. I mean, he beat people on detail. And he had a lot of guys. I mean, he had Kai Green, but then Kai wasn't there. And was it, you know,
Dexter,
Dennis Wolf or Dex?
Dennis.
Yeah, Sean Roden. I mean, all these guys, right? Yeah. So, I mean, we have a few other guys, though. I mean, you have Martin, who was 4th last year. You get Andrew Jack, who was 5th. And then you have Beruz, who just, I mean, talk about those guys a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
these guys have a legit shot to crack out those top 4 guys.
I saw Beirut.
What about Brant Curry?
I saw Beirut the past 2 days. I saw him last night, and I saw him at the gym, and I was like, I'll watch him pose. I'm just curious because seeing stuff online is, you need to see it up close. So I saw it up close. I was like, hey, if you don't mind, because Milos was like, please, can you give him some advice? I was like, yeah, let's try your posing this way. I just want to see it, because I'm also doing a live stream, so I want to have a decent storyline as well. Nothing like pre-recorded, but more like just more data for me to say, oh, okay, this is what his body looks like. Because I'm not going to be sitting there where the judges are. I'm going to be behind the scenes doing a podcast. Yeah. I mean, doing the live stream. He has good muscle. I just felt like, shout out to everyone that got him here. I mean, to train and the stress, that'll take your legs away. That's for sure. But I felt like he has an opportunity if he can fill up properly and he can have that muscle control during his poses, not necessarily from the front, but more from the side, because he is a big dude. I didn't realize how big he was. And he is very round, like in the chest and even the arms. But I feel like he may not have been aware of like doing like more of the rounds of posing over and over again. Like, how many rounds did you do for posing? A lot, right?
Yeah, I practiced the last 6 weeks. I did like 3 rounds, and I held each pose for 10 seconds.
See, so those were things that like you were never shaking on stage. I never recalled you ever sweating on stage. You were actually conditioned. I did the same, just after every meal, like I would just hit some shots and do the same thing. When we ran through the paces, I was like, okay. And then he woke up this morning, and I saw him this morning after I got done training, and he thanked me. But then I was like, hey, let's take a look now, see if there's any difference. And there was. So it's one of those timing things as well.
He cracked the top 5, top 6, say.
He could get 6th, I think, at his first one. But it goes to show that, like, number one, everyone's not going to be on, and we all know that. As much as everybody say this is my best show ever, this is my best look ever, someone's going to, everybody says it, dude. Like, it is what it is. And for the fans out there, you already know, like, you guys say the same thing. Oh, this is his year. He's going to win. We love you. We love you. We love your confidence. But we all know historically, someone misses the mark. And what I was chatting with Beirut about was muscle control. You got to be able to hold those poses at its peak, and you got to know what that looks like. You got to know what it feels like. So if you have striated glutes and you don't flex your glutes on a back double, but even going back with Brandon Curry, I don't know what he looks like. I didn't see a whole lot of pictures or anything. I rely on him to be the guy that historically, if you miss, he creeps right in there. And he has that veteran attitude of knowing how to, and he's so round, like in the chest and arms. It is impressive. His silhouette is very impressive. Obviously, as you get older, we're always concerned about leg development and even some back development. I have yet to see anything. I think he's going to be in the mix. He's going to have his opportunity, of course, being a Mr. Olympia. I'm really concerned, and I say this with all respect, with Andrew Jack. Very concerned, because when you win the Texas Pro, when you have everybody like screaming and hollering and talking about this and that and the other, and you don't bring it to the Olympia. I don't care about these other shows. When we're talking about the Olympia, this is the Olympia. In my opinion, I wouldn't want to call it a make or break, but it has to be in his eyes, in my opinion. Like, if he does not crack 4th or something respectable, where does he go from there? And Martin, I was there at Pittsburgh. Martin, God bless the kid. He's got a lot of fire in the belly, but I feel like he has to know how to contain whatever emotions he has so that his body follows. Because in Pittsburgh, I noticed that he came out there. It was like, oh man, this guy's in the hunt. Like, holy crap. And then it was like something happened. I don't know if it's the fact that he saw other people, and maybe he realized the moment was getting ahead of him, like watching, oh crap. And maybe it was kind of him and Nick were going back and forth, and he saw Nick actually bring it. It was like, and I could see in the body language that it kind of went down. But if he has those blinders on and he just runs his own race, he has weapons. So I think those guys, those 4 that I just mentioned, I think they all have a shot at possibly catching someone off guard. You know, I just am curious to see how the judges are going to position these guys and who's going to get the opportunity to get after the top 4. You know,
What about Bonnick?
I was just going to say,
yeah,
Bonnick. We have Jordan Hutchinson. We have Regan. We have Antonio Burton.
What about Good Vito?
That him also.
I
mean, we're gonna forget some names. Creaso. I mean,
I got all them. I got
bro.
all this.
I thought about Good Vito last night, and he's probably the biggest outlier in this entire lineup.
It's big, bro.
Because he's big, and I've seen some shots before.
He's got big legs too.
He's got big legs. He gets hard. He just got hurt last time. That's a dude that he could probably do some damage if he. I mean, in my opinion, if he comes in right and someone's a little off, it would be nice to see, right? Like, cause
yep. I can start going off people, and you can just talk. Let's just start with Hadi Chupin. Can he?
Well, we already talked about.
Oh no, I do. Okay.
Yeah, Hadi has an opportunity.
Let's
we
go to
know
the next
that.
one. Let's go to Urs.
Urs, that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah. We're excited to see her.
I'm excited to see Urs.
You know, at first I was like, man, he's going to look a little thinner, and then like as I'm starting to put it together, I'm like, he actually can expose some people. Like he's legit. He came to here,
Yeah,
and he's not. He's a big dude.
he's not small.
No,
I saw him today. He's not small.
He's not small, and he's tall, and he's big.
He's
and
embracing this.
Like he's just got a lot of space. I think he really could be. I mean, we could talk about him in the top 10.
Oh, for sure. I definitely have him top 10. I definitely have him. Let's just say he wasn't in like the first or second call, and he comes in the third, and he actually gains some ground, beating some good
He'd have to be
veterans
at the top of that third.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying. And then
push
he-
back into the second. You
That's
know what I mean?
that's the scenario that I saw initially that I felt. It doesn't mean that I'm Nostradamus and know what I'm talking about, but just because of the size factor of other people in the more mature muscle in all areas, not just from what we see. I mean, kid's got great legs. His presentation is really good, and he already has like really good condition in my opinion. So it'll be. I'm excited to see him.
Him, Jordan, and Regan would be a good call actually, because they're all about the same height.
I think Urs. I think
Yeah.
Jordan's a little shorter than them. I think he's
5'10" or 5'11".
Is he? Oh, I thought he was shorter. Maybe they're all right around.
So
6.
that's a good. And then we talk about
shapely.
Then we got to talk about Regan.
Yep.
I mean, this is a guy even before we got on here. You know,
How do you think he looks right now?
I think he looks really good.
Is this the best he's been? You think?
I just showed him pictures from. This.
Yeah, I think it looks really good.
Is that like you have pictures of him at like he sent you, or let's check it out.
Oh, iPhone 17, nice.
Well, he's rich.
Checks coming in, man.
It's
Like,
a
yeah,
podcast, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm a podcaster.
Baller.
We sent these. This was the last show. Oops.
The judges are calling you now. They know we're talking, Steve.
Look at that. That's the last show versus right now, the day before.
Yeah.
That's a sizable
You
difference.
can swipe over.
Yeah, he looks good.
I think that pose though, the one that he has to change that one. I don't think that pose is good for him anymore because his body just got bigger. It's like he doesn't have to do both hands on hips, most muscular. I think he's big enough now to where it's like you hit that crab.
I think the improvements from one show to the next are good.
Mhm.
Now, what will it be on the stage? Will they land it? We'll see.
So that's been his problem, right? It's just like landing
I
it.
think it's
Couple
just
things actually.
a couple little things, but
Yeah.
it seems like
Here.
this prep, he has done everything he can do to the best of his ability to look the best he can possibly look.
Okay, so but that's physically, right? But you mentioned the
mentally,
mind.
too.
So the mind
Having the child really changed his life.
I believe that too.
to make him want it more.
It's just like I always talked about lock Regan in a house, like
Yeah.
what we did, right?
Yes,
No world, shut it down, right?
right.
I think that was that's basically sorry, that's linked up to my thing. It's your brother. It's I'll call in. I think that he's done that
Mhm.
without me have to lock him up.
That's good.
And that was, I think, now being married, having a child, it can change you.
Purpose,
Phil, you know?
purpose.
I mean, you always talk about like it does change your life a little bit.
I would say so. I mean, like if that can give you a higher level of urgency.
But like
With your
you know what it
purpose.
takes to be a top guy, and we all have to find the level. Like we all have to step up to level up to what it is, right? And you surround yourself by a lot of greatness, but some people. And Phil, we're in the best place in the world right now. You could come here and train for 3 months and not go to every gym and go to a different gym every day.
We just saw a gym open. We even know it was
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
A mile north of us.
But
we even know
we're
it's
in the
there.
culture. I mean, you were in
Yeah.
arm bursts and like
Yeah.
you had your own key and parking spot, everything, right? that became almost like a mecca because you were there. But think about, we have 10 of those.
Yeah. I just feel like proximity is key. I was very fortunate to obviously meet you at my first bodybuilding contest. When you talked to me, I took that with great responsibility and respect. I don't know if I ever told you it, but I looked at it as you being who you were at that time. I was like, I get to share space with Jay Cutler. Let me soak up every word that he's saying, even though I talk way more than you. But it was just me being so excited, so enamored about your hard work. And I'm like, one day I'm going to get to that level. Like, I'm going to work hard. And then seeing Ronnie as well and like learning stuff from him, like, oh, the minute he lands, he's to the gym, you know, like, doesn't matter how achy he is this guy bringing his masterpiece barbecue sauce on road trips and he was a machine and you were a machine. I stayed at your house. You would eat. And I remember just getting the plates of food. I'm like, but you know what it did for me? It reminded me of this. What
I remember going overseas with you and you'd be at the gym every night at 10. Doesn't matter where you traveled.
Yeah, of course.
It's like Phil would land, get where he needed, and he's like, okay, we're going to the gym. And it didn't matter what time it was.
Got it in.
You were Mr. Olympia. You weren't going to lose that.
No.
So I think that mentality means a lot. And you have that Hotties like that, Derek's like that, Samson's like that. All these guys, Urs has his own gym. Like all these guys have their own gyms now.
That's so freaking
what does.
That is insane.
We had Wesley Vissers on, and he's got his own gym.
You know what?
Like,
You're about to have your own gym, aren't you?
True. In Austin,
but is it public or is it
private? It's
okay,
just for,
okay.
just for the homies.
Everybody's got a gym but you.
Broke.
As I'm getting my Urus waxed today and picking up my S-Class Mercedes and my truck's outside and yada yada yada.
Oh, he got rid of the Urs and then he said Urs and he's like, I don't want to sell it. I brought it back. So now he's got it.
Jay's always had great cars. That's just
Phil,
I got one truck.
This
Same.
like everyone's digging, like everyone's creating now their own space, their own lane because social media is so. Everyone has to be a hybrid these days, and if you're not,
you're fading. You're a dinosaur.
And the amazing thing is like you adapted well, even though you got into a lot of different situations, right?
Right.
On there, but you were a Twitter guy.
Oh, I love
And
Twitter.
then you did Instagram. And I mean, you're doing all that stuff. So you know how important that is, especially as you're building brands now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people are going to want to know your insight. I mean, the Olympia hires you. Arnold hires you for all the commentary.
Mm-hmm.
You're the guy now because you can break you did it at the highest level.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone did it really better. We talk about that a lot.
Who was it the other day we had on here? Said, who's the most dominant, Mr. Olympia? Who was that?
Yesterday, Dave Palumbo asked.
Yeah, Dave Palumbo.
Yeah.
Well,
he asked
said
me.
you.
Because if you think about it, I said, who really challenged him? I said, did Kai Green really, did you walk away and like, it was close?
No.
I mean, we could have Dexter on here. We could have all these guys.
He would argue, but
yeah, like 15, right? Or 16.
he would argue,
There
but
might have been people that pushed you in some shots, but not
to the point where I was nervous and
they called you, of course, Mr. Saturday Night, which is a little probably disheartening at the point in your career. I mean,
I thought about that actually
because that kind of like
it kind of almost diluted what I did.
I would hate that, dude, to be honest.
But you know what though?
it
was from the late and great Peter McGuff, man. And
article, right?
And he wrote one article and it just blew up. And I think the way I perceived it, because initially I was like, what the hell does that mean? I look like garbage on Friday. Like, what are you talking about? It was more of like I could transform and close the show.
Yeah.
And leave no shadow of a doubt, right? But I've sat with, post-career, like, you never want to pull a LeBron and say, like, you're the greatest of all time and stuff like that. Like, that's just disrespectful to certain areas. But what I will say is my competitive nature, my consistency, and my ability to train the way I trained over and over and over again. I knew who I was. I was never going to squat past a certain limit. I worked on machines that pissed Jay off nonstop. Jay Cutler would give me so much crap.
I talked
He'd
about
be
it
like,
on the
bro, he'd
podcast.
be like, man, F Phil, man, he trains on freaking machines, like, and he looks like that. Like, I have to go over here.
Called you out a lot on social media.
That is hilarious.
like,
yeah.
Get on the machines, Philly style.
And I'm the only one, right? I'm the only one in the world that could go on a machine and win 7, you know? But what I will say, what I will pride myself on was the fact,
Think of a different conversation. Go ahead.
was the fact that I won 7 consecutive in a 2-day show format. Jay, talk about that. That's a 2-day show format. You did the 1-day show format, the 2-day show format. That is brutal.
I hate the 2 days.
That's why you always talk about like, bring it back to 1 day. I'm like, nah, leave it at 2. Cause people now see how hard it is.
But at least you got to go on at a certain time.
Not every year.
Did you ever go on at 11?
No, but I went when we were told to go on 7 and we went on at 9. Imagine what that does with the body and the meals and all that stuff. If you're off and you're trying to get on, like in 2020, I mean, I was making a comeback and stuff. I had Robin Chang running back and forth, and he wasn't running the Olympia. I'm in the back. I had my own little section. Shout out to Danny Garcia. Like, she made that happen with all my family and friends, so we could just chill and all that. And they're like, oh yeah, you'll be ready at 7:45. I was like, all right, cool. So I go out there, do my little routine, you know, get oiled up and this and that. And they're like, it's 8:30. It's now 9:30. I'm like, by the time we go out there, it was like past 9:30.
I thought it was real late. Remember that?
Yeah,
when Phil came out.
I don't know,
It
but I
was
was
late,
so disappointed when
and I
it
knew-
came out, and I
Yeah.
said to Matt, I leaned over, I said, fuck, you missed it.
I missed the whole damn thing. There's another
you
story.
just had lost it. It was
You
you
didn't
just
have the
didn't
pop.
have the fucking
I had-
factor.
that was-
you know.
You know, put it like this. I did something that I never did in my entire career. I think we talked about this.
Should we call them out? No.
No,
I'm not. I'm just.
no, it was my decision. It was my body, my choice. And if I could go back in time, I would have never done it. And if I would have peaked, and I've still yet to post a picture, because I hate it when like guys like, oh, I missed, and then they go immediately to social media and they show you the pictures from 2 weeks out. And I said I would never be that guy, but I do have pictures that I'm like, man, if I showed you a photo of what I looked like days away,
Maybe we should post it on the pod.
man, let me tell you.
So let me ask you guys this: since we're talking about people, let's
Yeah.
talk about Rubiel.
Oh yeah,
Zilla, he's another one. Got a visa, making his debut. Is he someone to be taken serious, or is he going to be just?
I know, but I can't tell.
I know, dude.
That's what Phil looks like. You can screen grab it.
Ah! On a BS 8 megapixel camera, you know, like I was.
Let me
full
see
of-
the legs. I don't know. Let me see.
Yeah.
But seriously,
That's
don't
good,
think.
yeah.
Let's talk about, since you're talking about legs,
Yeah,
Rubiel.
Phew, massive.
Is he
I got
someone to be taken serious, or is he going to be just like
Depend-
when Rami first came out? Like,
I feel like he is the guy, kind of like Rami, who Jay cracks me up because it was the last show Jay ever did, and you were pissed. It's not funny, but it's funny because what he
put it
said.
next to him.
No, it wasn't even about that. Is what Jay said after he walked off. You remember?
No.
He does. He just wants you to say it.
Well, it was Phil's best year ever.
So he says,
That was the one call out year.
he says, I was, you know, because what do you tell your best friends? Like, hey, you know, like,
Smoked.
no, stop. It was
13. He got smoked though.
yeah, but he's just like he was
But
just
he
like
knew. You knew.
he was just like yeah. He was like he goes, fuck, bro. If that guy ever gets shredded, you guys are all fucked. That's what he said when he walked off, and I'm like, okay, all right.
Kind of right.
Bye, brother. Later. See you maybe at the after party, you know, like whatever. But he was right. Like Rami, all he had to do was put it together. I truly believe that he got way too big.
13, he was really good. 14,
Yeah.
Dennis James was here yesterday.
Yeah.
He said he was his best ever.
Right.
But then after that, he just, even when he won the Olympia, I just didn't see I didn't see the detail he had.
He didn't have the detail. He didn't have like the roundness in the back. It was very flat. And for someone that has that size, you expect like roundness, like, and I don't know what it was, if it's training or whatever, but I just felt like that was in my opinion, that was his weak spot. If he would have had a thicker back, we would all have been screwed because he's the only one that could be like a legit 300 pounds with the quads that he had, especially from the side, that like when he finally dialed it in. But that's the thing. It's like, how many times can you do it? And your diet is going to be different every time. So when we talk about Rubiel, like we have yet to see him nail it. We've seen him. We've seen him.
I mean,
but here's my thing though, Jay. Like, why does that matter so much?
because he hasn't been competing that long, he hasn't figured it out.
But why?
Because I think they said he's just been training for a year or two, right?
But it's been a year or two since he's been pro.
Oh no, I thought he just started. Like
He
just
started not
training.
shortly before he turned pro. It
Like
wasn't.
he literally didn't.
So he just
Like, it's- I mean-
hopped on some gear and
No, you came on fast. I think Rami came on fast, but I think he came on really fast.
yeah, he
Phil.
probably
like,
did. Yeah.
like,
I think I remember
like
them
go
showing.
4 years ago, and he wasn't anything from what I
Got it.
understand.
So yeah, but then
And here he is on the Olympia.
but my
stage.
thing is, okay, so as your body is morphing into what it now is, there has to be some level of awareness to say, hey, I'm missing some detail here. So the size,
I know, but how do you change it when your body parts grow that big? I mean, I think does he have a myostatin deficiency? Or
Maybe.
You've seen him in person, haven't you?
dude, I traveled with him to
He's with
he's with
Panada.
Panada. And I see him, I'm like, Jesus, dude, like definitely got some Michael Lockett on,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, you know, shout out to Michael Lockett, man. Like he's got some of that going on
Remember
a
we
different
saw him
level.
the first time, and just look at his calves, and he's like,
Dude, it's gnarly.
It's just like I just said I said it looks fat almost like he's
Actually, you're right.
because it's not even like you can't even imagine.
So then, in your opinion, what would he need to do? Is it
He
just
needs
cardio
crazy
thing?
no, he just I don't know if you just diet him on no carbs or
I think you make him suffer like crazy.
yeah, I don't know what it
you
is.
try you go through out of a 16-week prep. You
Whatever he did for the shows to qualify because he actually was in a good
two, right?
project. Like
But-
he was actually
but here-
moving in a direction.
But here's the other part with that. I feel like sometimes his tanning is so dark, or maybe the pictures were just so dark because I wasn't there, that it kind of can blur the definition out. And also, again, back to Beirut. Now we're talking about Rubiel. Muscle control. When you're hitting those side shots and you can't get that glute to actually fire, that's a problem. When you turn them around and you don't see the glutes firing, that's a problem. And as you get bigger, I know it happened for me. When I started getting bigger, I was like, damn, it's so hard to flex everything. It is tough, especially on the back shots, because you got the arms, you got the back, you're rotating shoulder, you got the glutes, the hamstrings, and the calves, and you're hoping to God that your lower back don't go out. That's not easy. So I can only imagine being that size. It looks uncomfortable, but he does a good job at
yeah,
it.
the traps are a little too big. I would
Yeah.
definitely not. I'd be careful how much you're doing, like movements where it's going to work too much of the traps. But he definitely, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to actually ask Cormier, like what kind of program he was on.
Yeah.
Because he seemed, like I said, he was heading in a good direction. I don't know how he's going to look for this show. I mean, there's some, I've seen a couple pictures.
It's like a hit or
It
miss,
wasn't-
right? Like,
I
I've seen
wasn't
him in
over-
Dubai. I think he got fourth.
yeah.
He's just so big, it just doesn't look right. But then obviously he got tighter, and he won, I think, 2 shows this year.
So there's a couple things that we're circling around, and we've been narrowing it down. Like we're going to land it is figuring out your conditioning recipe. That's it. The size is the size. Like you already have it. Now it's more the emotional intelligence of someone knowing, like, maybe I need to cut back on the carbs. Maybe I need to do a little bit more cardio. It's not about training because you already know the guy is massive. You don't just build that by dreaming of it. You actually work it, but you have to be willing to communicate with your coach and say, look, I work better. If you need me to be this way, because maybe I'm just like oblivious to it, I need to get shredded, and I'll do whatever it takes to get that way. But then there's body dysmorphia that goes along with it. And that's really what we're talking about overall, is like some people just cannot grasp losing enough weight to bring out that detail. Ramy had it happen. I remember when he left whoever he was working with, worked with Aceto. I still remember that year because he looked freaking awesome. He was 275, 276, and everybody's like, he's small. And I'm like,
He got second that year, right?
to me.
Yeah,
And I'm like, you guys on the internet, I get it, but athletes, don't listen to them anymore. Stop listening to these guys, because when they say that you're big one moment and then you compete like that and they say, oh, he could have just been more conditioned. Well, that means you got to lose weight. That means you need to sacrifice some little muscle and some little roundness. There was years that I wasn't as full and I still won because I was still complete. The goal is to still be shredded beyond shredded. And if that's your nemesis, who gives a damn what you says on the scale and what you look like in magic light at the freaking gym or what someone has to say on social media? They're not on that Olympia stage where God only knows what the lighting's going to look like and who you're going to stand next to. So it's going to be really based on who Rubio stands next to that is in shape, because the judges are going to reward someone else that's in shape. I'm sorry. It's just going to be the way it is. It is a muscle contest, but, and that's where, again, like a guy like Urs could actually, creep in because someone's just like, I got more size. This is open. It's like, yeah, but I'm a hybrid. I can actually sneak in there.
I got another name, Antonio Burton.
Small, compact, but got some muscle on him, man.
I saw a video. He says he's going to expose people, and I think he's a sleeper in this show. I think he can knock a lot. We haven't talking about a hell of a lot of guys here, but I think he can sneak in there because he's got the size and he's got some detail. He's got a couple power shots, and I mean, the legs are big, shoulders are big, square shoulders, and I mean, he's dangerous.
I'd say so. He comes in shape.
I mean, he didn't win against Betruz in Dubai, but he was close.
They thought he should have got second in that show. He got third.
Who got second? That one?
Bonac. And they thought there was an argument for it. I didn't go to it.
I mean, I didn't see it, but I mean, Bonac is one of those guys too. Like even at his age, like he's right there. He's good enough. He's good enough.
Yeah,
he's good enough.
He's been second at the Olympia.
That's what I'm saying.
Won how many, Arnold?
Bro, like I get it, bro. I get it, man. As long as his body is up for the challenge.
I think he looks better now than he did
he's got a couple of things that I think that obviously his age is
the front lat width, and I think that's just.
But he's got detail up.
But he's got
gazoo,
Yeah, because his glutes get hard like that,
and he's got arm detail, and you know what I mean.
It's nice. What about a name that we haven't talked about? Brett Wilkin.
I literally was just going to say, let's talk about the first guy who qualified, Brett Wilkin.
Yeah,
we haven't seen much. It kind of sucks that the guy qualifies, but people forgot all about him. So he doesn't have the hype, but he has the goods.
I think that's just the nature of the beast. You know, like you do a show after the Olympia, you qualify and stuff, you go back in the shadows. He posts online. He does all this stuff. He's online. A lot of
good online.
Can he be a top 10 guy?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. It's cool about his lines, and of course I might be a little biased because he trained at Armbrust with friends, but skin texture is really good. His muscles look healthy.
Hard.
His muscles look hard. He really works hard, and he's a realist. He's not a guy that's going to say like, oh yeah, like I'm going to be Mr. Olympia tomorrow. It's like, no, it's a progression. And he's done that because I believe he actually turned pro in Classic. And then, so
he did. Yeah. Shot him.
Then he went to 212, right? I thought he did two other.
No, he did Classic.
He did Classic and then slowly emerged into what he is today. And I give him props because, you talk about purpose, like with Regan, he's married to a, IFBB pro as well, Ivana. And although she's, I believe, and they have a little girl too. And, they moved twice now. They moved to Florida, and I believe they're now in Texas. It takes a level of determination and hard work and patience. And he utilized his time, because I'm always concerned when people say, hey, I'm taking a year off. Like, was that a year well spent? Because when they say they're taking a year off, it's not like they're taking a year off of super subs and stuff like that. Like, it's like, no, I'm still doing my thing. It's like, but what is the end result? I'm excited to see what he looks like, because he will be in good condition. And I just want to see what those body parts look like, even next to a Tonio, against a Bonac, against, a Crizzo. Like, I just want to see what it looks like and how the muscles actually move. That's the only way I can really determine, like, where he's going to be in the next year or two. But I'm very excited for him.
Let's talk about Sas Harati.
Another guy that comes in with the goods, dude.
Condition.
Like, that's the first thing I think about.
Iranian.
I mean,
those guys are all shredded.
He pushed Andrew Jack,
Sure did.
He wasn't the best Andrew.
He beat Regan.
Yeah, true.
Their second show.
He knows what it feels like to win. I would call him more of a veteran, in some aspects, because he's competed quite a bit, I believe.
Stepped away for a few years, but
yeah, and the muscles didn't deteriorate, which is pretty awesome, actually. But I'd like to see him be a little bit more aggressive, like when it comes to like his demeanor on stage, because he's one of those guys that you like his look, but like he can get lost. With this particular lineup, you gotta find whatever you can. You got to find whatever you can, like with your own personality and stuff. And, you know, whether it be, I mean, you can't creep up on the line too hard, but you got to be in someone else's space and get those judges' eyes to look at you. Because look, like, again, everybody's like, you know, like right here, like no one's really like way above the other, even in these other second and third call outs. I will say, like, one of the best things about this show is that as long as everybody comes in, we'll just say 90%, we're in for a treat.
Yeah.
If everybody's 90%, we're in for a treat. There's no one in this lineup where I'm like, oh my God, like this guy looks like complete ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, let's hope that no one does. Let's hope that no one drinks a bunch of water before they go up on stage or doesn't get sick or, you know.
I was saying this on one of the last podcasts. In a almost 30-year period, there was like 4 guys that dominated, and there's been 4 winners in the last 4 years.
4 or 5?
4. Well,
4. Yeah. Yeah.
Hottie, Derek,
Simpson,
and Rami were before them.
Yeah.
So for this last 4 years, it's just we haven't had that one dominant guy. So are we going to have a 2-time? Is somebody going to do it you've done? Because there's 2 guys that could come back and win it. Nobody's ever done that. Or is a Andrew Jacked or a Nick Walker or a Martin, are they going to leapfrog all of them and just shock everybody and win?
I mean,
I wouldn't want to bet on any of those scenarios because nobody's that dominant.
use my link on DraftKings for my picks, you know, like, no, but.
Should we start that? Hey, DraftKings, we'll start betting on bodybuilding.
Yeah, why not? I think we all could make some money. No, but I don't know, man. I do know that these guys are very eager to get it on. I was backstage today. They all have their own way of like mental focus, and some are more friendly than the others. You know, like some are just like really in their moment. Like,
yeah,
like I saw Brandon Curry. He was by himself. He's just, you know how Brandon is, very quiet, reserved, just like ready to do his thing. Derek was, you know, got the skull cap on. Like I'm ready. You know, I saw Andrew just zoned out, like doing his thing. Urs is very happy to be here, but I told him, I was like, this is great. You know, I'm so excited. I don't feel like there's any pressure on him, to be quite honest. I mean, anything he does is going to be a win in his favor because he's so young, he's talented. I'm eager to see Martin, of course. And when it comes to Michael Krizo, like one thing I will say is muscle control.
Krizo's not.
He's not in it.
Oh, I thought he was.
No, I thought you mentioned him. No, okay then. So, but it's still muscle control with him. You know, and in order for him to actually do what he's supposed to do, I mean, the guy has like the shredded traps and the biceps and the chest and all this other stuff, but you got to be able to maintain that. You got to be able to hold that for a certain period of time.
He's doing Prague then.
Prague, yeah. Could Jordan Hutchinson crack the top 10 his first time?
I think he could, man. I like Jordan's look. You probably haven't seen him that much, but
that was the guy.
Texas and Tampa.
He won Texas and Tampa.
That
guys won.
That was the guy with the wide back and like.
Yeah.
He needs to work on his back some, but he's got a good structure.
But he has good structure. That's what I know.
He's taller. He's good.
Yeah,
though.
he had like the kind of like.
Yeah. He's good.
That dude.
Yeah.
That dude.
I think he's gonna make
that
some
dude
here.
could.
Yeah.
It all comes down to who peaks and who don't, and where do. Now we're getting into very detailed
Chris Tuttle
stuff.
trains him, I think.
Okay. It depends on what particular body part shows up and which one doesn't. That's what's going to move people around. Because, yeah, you can look good from the front, but what about the side? And what about, and to Jay's credit, years ago, you were champion, and it might have been at FIBO, and we were talking, and Jay goes, you know how I beat you guys? I go, how? And Jay just started doing quarter turns. And that was such a educational moment for me, because we all think it's front double bicep is the first point. Jay was whooping our ass with the quarter turns. So to me, these
width and density,
these guys need that part. And I was telling Milos, I said, hey, everybody shouldn't be riding Harleys when they're doing the poses anymore. Like, I'm tired of it. Okay. Like, I wish people would just come in and just roll the shoulders forward and keep the arms down. Like, you still see the lats and stuff like that. Kind of like what we saw back in the day with like a Serge Nubret, you know, front relax and stuff like that. You don't need to have them so high up. We already know you got lats, but when you do that, you ain't flexing the arms and all this other stuff. We can't see like, striations and whatnot. I want to see like the shoulders. I want to see the chest. I want to see all that. I can't do the damn pose no more.
You used to walk out with your tight, like this,
Say it. Just say it. He goes, Phil's doing the Phil strut.
Yeah.
Look at her doing the strut. Show the strut, Phil. And I'm like, yeah.
Walked out like, yeah.
I'm like, I'm about to whoop these ass. Like, I'm about to. In
That
my
was
mind,
hilarious, bro.
but it was iconic. Don't lie.
You always did that, and Dexter would walk out real slow, and then he'd run off the stage.
Then he'd run and he'd run with
Do
the
that
thumbs
jog.
up and stuff, do the jog, and it's like, okay, I'm done. No, and
I was going to say I have another. So if Nick Walker keeps himself controlled, because you're talking about quarter turns now,
Yes.
is that the difference between him moving up and not moving up?
I think so. I mean, I can go by his last show, right? Well, this last show I saw him because I wasn't in New York. Pittsburgh, I feel like, I feel like he might have ran out a little gas when they did that extra call out. So as long as he prepares for that, he's able to keep the stomach tight. Yeah. I think what happens to all of us is we all have a certain threshold of pain, and then, you have endurance factor. If he has that endurance, oh man, I mean, he's a freak, dude. He's a freak, and there's got to be a freak. We have him, we have Rubiel, who's a freak. Those are my two freaks, like in the show. But I think Nick has a lot to say with his physique. For him to be on an Olympia stage is a blessing because we all wanted to see him, do well and just show what he got. He garnered a lot of fans after losing to Derek, but then coming back in New York. He does have a lot to prove, though, to himself, that he can be on an Olympia stage and actually take people on a 2-day show. Because, again, it's 2 days. And figure out the recipe for Friday and then know what adjustments to make for Saturday. I feel like they are going to take that confirmation round very seriously. The judges are going to, not that they don't already, but they're going to take it very seriously because there is no front runner like this. So they got to give people a chance. And if I'm competing, if guys are watching, if you hadn't done the posing, like what Jay said, 6 weeks out, it's going to get exposed. It just is, because your body, you can have the greatest mindset in the world, but if your body ain't right, like it's not used to that. And under those type of lights and that pressure of standing next to someone that is on the same level as you, whether you want to admit it or not, you will fade. You will start looking around, someone growing into their physique, because Derek does that. I've seen his body come more alive, and especially in the back, like he's squeezing, he's doing his thing, and he actually comes alive a little bit more. I think that's probably what pushed him over the edge in Pittsburgh, But if Nick can do the same, gosh damn, like this is, because he's got the freak factor, dude. It's going to be really nasty. I would love to see striated chest on Nick, when he's hitting like this one, and on the, like more striations, more the muscle pushing. And we already know, like when you peel down water, Jay used to make a really interesting comment, and I'm sure you still do. And that was you would call it the flat line. Guys get really flat, maybe through, from pulling back water and stuff like that. Their muscles aren't pushing hard enough to where they have that line in the chest. And although it looks kind of cool, they're flat. You want that sucker full. So you have to gauge, like, and we're giving out every time I come here, like we give out all the secrets, and it's like, let's see who takes them. You would tell me how to pace myself for that first 60 seconds of your individual and the prejudging, because you knew that it was a long night, whether you were the front runner or not. It's still a long night. So you would just move your body. I would watch you backstage. You would just move around. You're not doing a ton of freaking push-ups. Talk about that real quick, because I always felt like you were so present with yourself that, like, what made you do that? Like, there was no nervousness with you. Maybe you had them, but like I never felt that. You were so prepared.
No, you know why? Because I prepared myself mentally for the best and the worst. Remember, I came from the back. You came third at your first. I was 15 out of 16. Then I was 8th, and I didn't get the calls. And, so for me, it was a lot of mental preparation. Being a mental guy, going to the gym. And I would visualize my workouts every day, like on the whole way home from the gym from the last workout, and be able to say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do chest. I'm going to do incline first. I'm going to go over to that. You know, I knew my gym, right? Just like you did. We, you know, when we were locked in training for the shows, there was no world, right? So it's like, I knew exactly, like, I was going to clock in, whether it was 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock, and I said, I'm going to go roll from here. I would already visualize that. So when I did the stage, it was the same thing. And knowing who you're kind of up against, right? I mean, you get used to it sometimes. I knew the Dexters would be there. Obviously, when you came up and we were battling, it's like I knew what you looked like. I knew where to expose you and where, you know, I had to be careful not to be exposed. So you study it. I mean, people think that getting on stage is just, it's just a situational thing where you don't have any real thought to it.
Right.
But I would analyze it just like you did when you played ball.
Yeah.
I mean, just like, you know, Tom Brady did when he prepared for some of these games. I mean, you have to study and just say, okay, what's your competition like? Okay, look at all these variables. What is the best scenario? And what is the backup plan?
Yeah.
Okay, if things start going bad,
dude.
how are you going to handle? What's your demeanor going to be? And I always said this, like, look at how I won and lost. It's always the same.
Yeah.
And I always gave credit to even the competitors when I did lose, right? Because I knew what that felt like. So I have a lot of emotions inside, and it wasn't like I just was acting cool always around. But, you know, you go home and you sit back and you like reminisce, and I'm just more of a thinker before I speak, right? I take in, I observe, and a lot of times, like, I look, and sometimes people think, Jay's looking at me kind of weird, you know, but if I'm analyzing a situation, it's like the Terminator, you know, you get all this information, then I compile this in, and then when I speak, it's like, okay, what's the reason for it? You know what I mean? So that's how I was, but I never liked the pump thing because, like, I never got on the bench press, and because, you know, it's the same thing. It's a timing thing. You go out there and then you go and then you deflate. And for someone like me, it was so hard to fill up that I had to say, okay, I need to save as much glycogen because this could be long. Under those lights, it's hot.
Yeah.
I'm a big dude.
Yep.
I'm not a small dude like, you know, Dexter or these other guys that were smaller in stature than me. So I had to prepare for that. And that's what kept me cool and collective. I don't think I was ever nervous for any of those Olympias, to be honest.
I didn't see it at all. That's what, in my opinion, it made you more, it made me realize, I was like, damn, he's done his job. Because a true professional, grace under pressure, you know, very calm. It's like guy has to shoot, you know, or kick a field goal with no time on the clock, hit the free throws, they're going to overtime with no time on the clock. Like, how do they approach that? You approach that situation like you approached everything.
Yes, man, fate is everything, right? We can't, if we could predict the future, man, like, we could sit here and break this thing down and, like, I know some people think I think Derek's going to win, and some people think I think Nick or Samson. I mean, if you lay it all down, it's like I would pick Derek because he won already this year, and he's on like this whole thing with this Triple Crown thing he's saying, and like, it's pretty cool. It makes a really good storyline.
Yes.
And people have to root for you. But then, like, Samson, who's, you know, he's doubted. Oh, is he going to come in? If he ever comes in shape, no one's ever going to beat him. He's got the best. But all three of us agree he has the best body in the IFBB. But then you got Andrew Jacked, who's like got more tie-ins than him, but just needs a little more density to physique. He's a guy that didn't take bodybuilding serious in the beginning. And then you have, like I said, Walker, who's an absolute freak. If you go put him on stage and you do the poses next to each other without the transitions, he wins a lot. So in Hadi, it's like this. It's just crazy. And if he comes with the round legs and his back is close enough to the front,
correct,
he wins.
Correct. He has the best. I would say Hadi Chupin right now probably has the best last two poses of the show. And he has the best ab and thigh.
Oh, he's got the midsection.
It's stupid. Because he can hit, and when, especially during his routine, and they play that music, and he hit, and bro, he'll hit that. I can't do that shit. So like, but he'll hit that damn, he'll hit that vacuum, and then he'll just go bam, and he crunches down. And it's like
he comes out of the side chest like we did, and he drops Phil.
It's
like the
nasty.
Piano keys. Yeah, but you know he has got all that.
It. No,
yeah. But you had the big tricep and everything. Like, he doesn't have the big arms, but he's got.
But he's got a lot. He's got a lot going on, dude.
Impressive.
It's impressive because it's something that is his weapon, and that's where I'm like, I love the last two poses because you got ab and thigh, you got most muscular. Who, in your opinion, wins most muscular out of these guys?
I think Samson, bro. Nick Walker.
Hottie.
Yeah, Hottie.
I don't think Hottie has like this
Hey.
splintered chest.
Yeah, he does.
Behruz is going to be right
Yeah, but
mixed with those
Samson's
guys.
so big.
Yeah,
He's got
Samson has
such a big chest.
Samson is huge. So that's why I'm like,
See, when I
Yeah.
just brought this up to you, you saw Behruz. His arms are just as big as Nick's.
oh yeah,
He's got the Hottie chest.
bro, I saw him with
big.
my own eyes.
He's big. I saw him on stage. I didn't see him like you did.
Yeah, I saw him up
He
close.
could
I was
stand
like,
right
dude,
next to
like
anyone in the most muscular.
he would be very interesting to see a most just for a fan
What
perspective.
the most exciting part is, though?
Mm.
It's $600,000.
That's a lot of chicken breasts.
You know what I'm going to say right now? This is way off the cuff. I think if you guys eat any more of these creatine gummies, you guys might go over there and try to get on stage. I'm watching you too. Like
That's a well,
free plug.
will always be. I don't know about you, Jay, but I'll always be that competitive dude in my mind and be like, "Damn, that was so much fun. That was so much fun." And then I realize I don't really like the smell of the tan.
No.
I don't like the you know, like the taste in your mouth.
Like how I sent you that, what was it, 2 or 4 weeks out or 3 weeks out when I was eating the fish with the mustard on it? Did you get that message?
I sure did.
I tagged you in it.
I know.
Some fish and mustard.
No, the
When did I do it? A couple
the
weeks
honey,
ago, right?
the honey special, like
Yeah.
you know the
I was actually eating that. Can you believe it?
why?
I don't know. Yes,
Why?
bro.
What's wrong with you?
Because I had some megafit chicken and megafit fish, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to cook it. But I tagged Phil in it.
He had white fish with avocado and freaking.
No, I had
oh,
mustard on it.
mustard.
I just had mustard on it. Yeah.
Why?
I used to send, we would be dieting, and every couple of days I'd send Phil, like, hey, dude, I'm eating this too. Like, we're in the same boat. And he'd send me a picture of his.
I'm trying to eat cleaner just because it's Jay Cutler, and you know, I love burgers and all that stuff, but I've had to peel back on that, and you know, since I'm not competing, I'm like, hey, I'm just trying to live to as long as I can, being healthy and being more youthful. Lack of, you know, to be honest, like it's more like, you know, you get nasty inflammatory responses in your face, and you know, you get all puffy and stuff, and you know, I peel.
Excuse.
Well,
That's why he's going to China and all these other places for 2 months now.
what? So he can crap his brains out.
Oh,
after
he wants
eating bad food?
no, he's going to eat good food.
We're gonna eat good food over there?
without poison in it.
Yeah, our food supply here is
pretty whack.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But our
And look, you have your gym equipment company's from Italy. You know what it's like there. You can eat pizza 5 times a day.
bro,
And come home
if
and lose weight.
I tell you right now, if I lived in Italy, getting ready for a show, I told Edo and Rudy Panada, I was like, man, if I had that, just lock me in a gym and treat me like a freaking prisoner and just slide the freaking meals toward me, because you don't get inflamed. Like it's just incredible.
You know, I'm just thinking about that now because you guys didn't eat a lot of pasta, but if you ate the pasta in Italy with that meat, how is that gonna?
Matt,
is your body gonna respond differently?
You want to know a secret? So, 2013, I think that one call out year, I went to see Jim Mangan, and everybody see me with the orange tank top. And I did that training with Hani, and
Yeah.
you know, I had the round ass shoulders, everything was banging. For that whole week, I ate pasta and steak, like 3-4 times a day. The steak was more like, it wasn't like 12 ounces and stuff like that. It was more like 8 cooked, right? But I had literally angel hair pasta with marinara. I was like, I'm going in front of Jim Mangan. Like, I need to, you know, do my thing, right? I didn't even tell Hani. I was like, man, I'm just going to do this and see what happens. Because we were so far away from the show. Like, I'm like, and I knew my body was going through a point in time where, and I'm sure you experienced this too, where the diet is going to have to change because your body is just more mature. It just doesn't work with the same protocol. And I believe it was after, it had to have been that 2013, 2014 year. And it was just like, whoa, like I was massive. And I started doing that periodically, you know, through the various preps of my, you know, prime, which was, I would have pasta like once a week or twice a week, just because it was a different type of carb that my body for some reason could use. But I wouldn't have done it just out of like arrogance. I did it out of necessity because I don't have the appetite like everyone else has. Like today, like I've eaten once. I just, like what you gave me is what I had. And that wasn't even a lot of food, right? But I'm full. I had a protein shake this morning and I just had that. Me eating like Jay would eat through the night. I had to force myself to eat all that damn food and to eat all that smelly ass fish. Like that was ridiculous, dude. In that video that you had with Urs about the damn fish soup, that was disgusting.
commented on it.
Bro, that was nasty as hell. Like, there's no way.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, I did a whole reel and posted it.
He was like, no, he was trying to convince Jay Cutler of all people, like, this is, no, you need to do this.
It's like warm fish soup.
Warm fit, bro.
Oh,
Tomatoes.
Garcon.
Yeah.
I would like an order of, what's your soup of the day?
warm fish soup.
Warm fish soup. All right, I'm out.
Did you see what my comment was? The only thing worse than warm fish soup is cold fish soup. Disgusting.
Dude, that just makes me.
But you know what though? You both of you kind of ate like that close to.
I would never spin a
Fish soup.
You ate mustard fish.
Yeah.
That's like one step
You know
away.
what's funny though?
and he actually, but we never said it was good.
No.
But Ernst said it was good.
He said it was like
bro,
the best thing.
bro, it's good.
He's trying to convince you, like, to where you don't look at him like he's stupid for doing it.
I said
Now,
that's fucking disgusting.
I'm gonna set you up, and when we go to Germany, I'm gonna make sure Urs has this tuna. It's a tuna shake, and he said it tastes like warm fish soup. We're gonna have him set it up.
Look
for
at
you.
my face right now.
Well, listen, you're gonna be. We'll make sure you're there too. You're both gonna try it. It'll be a
Please.
great reel.
Yeah, that'll be a real like pouring on
We'll
the
go to
floor.
that gym and we'll have him make us some tuna shakes.
Tuna shakes that are going to go right in the trash. Like, what are you talking about? Like, there's no way. See, this is why I'm not coming back. Like, if that's what it would take, I'm like, no. I would eat rock glass. I would do this
I'll
to
eat
win
dirt.
this.
Would
I would
you
eat
eat warm
dirt.
fish soup? No.
No way. Like, if that's what it took, no. What about blended food?
God, a lot of guys did that.
Hunter was doing it for a while, I think. We never had to do that, huh?
I don't understand. Like, for me, I'm just like,
I mean, I would assume scientifically it gets in, but
I'm not. No.
It gets to that point.
If it gets to that point,
I'm going back to masonry stuff. You know?
I'm going back to playing basketball or, getting me a computer job or something like that. No, I'm being for real. I'm just
Jay's going to start doing masonry at 52, and you're going to start trying to go to the NBA.
yeah, why not?
Have some warm fish
Ice
soup.
Cube, holler at me, big three. Like, put me in. No, man. Oh my gosh, dude, I cannot wait for this show though.
All right, guys, the new flavor Buzzin' Orange is available now. You can grab this over at jcutler.com. Make sure you check it out. We're having a sale right now. Liquid L-carnitine, 3,000 milligrams. You guys want to get that crazy metabolism boost? Let's go.
You got a nice new suit for your,
Yeah, you already know.
what color?
First night blue, second night Jay Cutler, Executioner black.
With a nice tie or no tie this time?
Tie, pinstripe this time though,
nice.
like more like mafia. I wanted to go with the mafia look this time. See what it.
Are you downsizing your suits right now? Or are they pretty much
You know what's
all-
funny? Like, I got with a company that did that for me, but then I lost another 10 pounds recently.
How much you weigh now?
I wake up at 235.
God, you weigh more than me, bro.
Do you want to weigh more though? No.
No, I want
I want to show you guys something. This was 18 years ago. I came across this today.
Was that in the parking lot going into Orleans?
Phil wasn't competing then.
Nope.
Was he?
It was the year you sat out. It was 07.
Dude,
I look at that. The three of us walking in,
freaking goons.
going to prejudging.
Freaking goon squad over here.
I was just digging through pictures because I was showing Jay, like, remember when you went and did, Fox Radio and Fox.
Do you remember all this stuff? Or
Yeah,
all this?
I do actually, because he brought up this morning. Let me ask you a question though. So you sat and watched, like, you qualified, you won.
06 and 07,
Yeah.
got qualified, sat out.
So when you sat there, were you like, damn, I wish I could get on the stage?
Never.
No?
Nope. I was a fan. And when you talk about collecting data, that's what I was doing. I was looking at it as a fan in 05 after I turned pro. 06 and 07, I was like, I'm just here observing. More importantly, it was the format. Like, I was like, how do they do this? Like, that's just how methodical I get with it. But yeah, and then obviously I'm rooting for you.
You saw Victor Martinez's best years then, huh?
Yeah, I remember that.
Because he was third in 06, and
Yeah, I remember
arguably
that.
he could have won in 07.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the 2-day show,
Yeah.
like, you didn't, in my opinion, even that year, you are still able to maintain a physique for both days. It's not like you don't have to be like 100% and then 80. It's more like you'd be like 90 or 95 on both. That's objectively how I viewed it. And then, of course, people were like, I think people get really excited when they see someone like, let's say Victor, for instance, they never seen him look like that. So then they think, well, he should be rewarded for that. And it's like, yeah, but it's a 2-day show. So like you're only thinking of, it's like people looking at, and I watch it online, like people will post pictures of me. And that's why I always wore 2 different colored trunks, and I never deviated from, except maybe 2 years in my entire career where I deviated from wearing.
What color did you wear?
I wore purple on prejudging always, and then teal on the night show. So anyone that would see purple, it was always from the prejudging where people said that I didn't look that great. And I'm like, okay, but post up that damn teal one. And that's when it was like after a day's rest. Cause whether I went to the expo or not, after that prejudging, my nerves were like, everything was calm.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, I could finally sleep.
I liked it after going home, showering off the tan, putting on another coat. Like it almost like made any kind of water I held, it was like, okay, I'm drier the next day because you sweat a little bit, and you it's like a little workout, right?
Did you have to eat a whole lot the second day, majority of the time?
It depends on what day, on what
year
it was, but I know for Friday it was like, oh, am I gonna land this thing right? And then when I landed it, it's like, oh, okay, I know where I'm at position. Like you said, the nerves are off, and it's like, for some reason, Saturday night, everyone always looked better. And we always thought it was the lighting, but I think once you do it, that oil, and then you wash it off, and then you re-shower and do another coat of tan, you're like good to go, right?
I would agree. I would agree. It's my realtor.
Uh-oh.
It's a good thing. It's my warehouse gym.
He's getting a new dump.
Yeah, when I build this thing, you guys are gonna
come out. You gonna do
I would hope
studio there and all that, or
yeah. I'm
He's gonna write everybody but you.
Where is this gonna be?
North Austin.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be out there.
When are we getting the invite?
Next month. You guys come in whenever next month.
When do you think it'll be? Have you already started working on it?
Yeah, it's already built. I'm just putting. He's probably hitting me up to talk about the damn flooring.
Nice.
You must be excited.
Oh,
you got to get out there. Maybe we can holler at Joe Rogan and get you guys
sent me
Joe
pictures
Rogan.
Just now. He's got the lighting. He's got the ceiling up, all the beams. Yeah, he wants to see if I want to paint that black. And I was like, yeah, I'd keep it black. What do you think? Like having the ceiling a little more black. Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
What else we have to talk about?
Well, what do you got going on, man? I mean, obviously you have the subs, you have, the merch and stuff,
Doing
like
TRT.
the TRT Kingdom. How's that been?
It's great. It's doing really well. We're getting a lot of great feedback. A lot of people that it's changing their lives. You know? I mean, people don't realize because they don't go get their hormones checked.
Yep.
They don't get their blood work done.
Mm-hmm.
It's making a little more easier for people to realize that their health needs to be like your number one priority.
Yeah, you only got one life, right?
Yeah, and it's
greater sense of urgency, I'm sure. Yeah. What is the age range you think? Majority.
Like more. Remember, our demographic's going to be 35 to 55, and maybe even deeper. But listen, you still got your guys 20 to 35. I mean, that still have some deficiencies, right? So, remember, we're doing weight loss too, and we're doing supplementation. I mean, peptides, that kind of stuff, BPC.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's all individual.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been just working on the pod. This week's been super busy because we're obviously stacking them up.
Yeah, I was actually. I mean, I know we're boys and everything, but I was like, man, am I going to get in here? Because y'all was like, I mean, y'all were turning burning. Like it was insane.
Yeah, we did a lot, and that's
we
only
still have about 4 to 5 more.
Wow.
He's going to be gone, and I'm traveling pretty extensively. Like we're going back home soon for the show. I have my show in Boston.
Oh yeah, you guys,
New England.
You just come back from Cali. Right?
Yeah, I was
in Cali for a little bit.
Yep, we went there for Young LA shoots for Black
cool.
Friday stuff.
Nice.
Batman collaboration.
Oh, nice.
Cool. So I did that, and then so we got the show. I'm going to go see my mom. Spend some time there.
Yep.
We're going to go down to Florida, spend some time in Florida at some point, and then just business as usual, man. Love it. I'm here every day doing stuff. Doing some memorabilia stuff and. Just trying to have some social aspect of my life too. With taking Andrew, we went to dinner last week and it was nice. We went to a new restaurant.
Oh,
We're trying to do more stuff like that's my goal for like the end of the year is like to take advantage of Vegas because Vegas is just explosive. We are so lucky right now because like after having Dana White on our podcast, it was really an eye opener for us to realize that like I say it all the time and like I can be anywhere in the world. You know how it is. Business, my business is online, and we still choose Vegas because of the opportunities and what's at our fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
He says I couldn't live anywhere in the world, and I still come back to Vegas. It's my home, and I mean, you enjoy the other aspects of other places.
Right.
But it's just so nice to be able to, I mean, literally, like I said, you can go to a different gym every day and you can go to a different restaurant every week.
It's true.
And try different places.
Tons of entertainment.
Last night I went out to eat and had with the RP strength guys who went out and had sushi. And I was explaining to them, not exaggerating, within 1.5 miles, 6 all-you-can-eat sushi spots, and they're all good. It's not like garbage.
Yeah.
Remember when all you can eat was bad? I mean, it wasn't really good.
Now it's like it's like if you go to a
We
sushi,
went to one and they were looking at us like, get out of here.
But Matt, he still eats like a ton, so
I only eat twice a day. I don't.
But just a lot during
he's
that
like
time.
a machine when he gets in front of a sushi boat,
No, I eat the same. Not a whole lot. I can't eat like
he's still 260, so
55.
You gotta peel that down.
I know. That's what I told him. It's want to be 240 by the end of the year.
Yeah, peel that down.
I haven't been under 250 pounds probably since I was 20.
Yeah, peel
But he's still doing pictures in the gym, like flexing his biceps and all that.
What pictures have I posted?
You just sent me a picture last week. You were at the supermarket flexing in front of the camera.
Oh, I did that as a joke because I look pretty swole there.
Touche.
I don't give a fuck what I look like. Do you care? You wake up and look in your mirror and say, man, look at my guns. And
No, only when I'm training where I'm like, damn, that.
I've seen you flexing a lot lately in your video.
People like it.
Yeah.
People like it.
Take that pre-workout, man. You're like a
Take
different
gummies, you're gonna get swole.
I'm gonna keep it real. Like let's just keep it a buck. You see my physique. You see my physique. You know, like the minute I take a product, we're not even talking about gear.
Yeah.
I can take a product, I can eat, and when I train, I expand. Yeah. The difference is that over the last 5 years, I just stopped training. I just lowered the frequency, the volume, like all of that. I was just more focused. To be honest, I mean, I shared this before with you guys. It was more just like getting over the fact that my identity was so tied to competing that once that was gone, I didn't really know who the hell I was. And I was like, I need to figure out what's my next plan? Like, what's my next 5 to 10 year plan? Like, let's really work on that. And honestly, it was more of just, hey, Phil, what's going to make you happy? What's truly going to make you happy? Because at some point, with the Olympia and stuff, I felt like I was on a roller coaster. We traveled so much, and we were talking about 200,000 miles, you were there too. Like, it's just a lot of the demand. And I probably had some burnout, and that burnout just so happened to be after I got injured and all this other crap. But overall, man, I just look at the gym differently. I have a different relationship with it. Now I get to go through my gym. I'm going to be on YouTube. I don't do YouTube, but I'm going to be doing a ton of it because people do want to see the poses and stuff. And it's because of the fact that my guns are still loaded. They're still good. And it does crack me up because I'm thinking there's some guys that are competing and they ain't got no damn striation and damn, shoulders and arms. I still have that. Thank God I trained a certain way on machines, Jay. And, hey, but I took the machines on the Smith doing those damn rows.
You got beat by a guy who only uses machines.
I didn't, I
jeans
never said I beat Jay. I said I became Mr. Olympia because Jay told me in 2010 after I lost that I have to own. Remember that? So you have to own being that. It can't be based on you being soft and thinking about friendship and all that stuff. It's like that. This is business. This is professionalism. You have an opportunity, and that's what I went with. Yeah. I would joke around and say, yeah, I beat Kai Green, I beat Ramy, I beat these guys, I beat all their asses. But I didn't look at it like that with Jay. Jay's my friend. Jay was someone that I met at my first bodybuilding show. He was a highly influential figure in my life, not just on stage, right? So, I just, as of respect for a champion, a legend, an iconic figure in here, I just didn't have that demeanor. Now, everybody else had to reap the wrath because that was around the time social media came through, and I just used it as a weapon. But overall, I just now train to have fun. I'll train for 40 minutes sometimes 35, and get the hell out of there and do something else. I don't really concern myself with overdoing a certain body part as far as the weight is concerned. There's days, honestly, I'll train and I'm like, oh, I'll curl some 50s just to see if I can do it. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm actually so strong. Wow. Or now I'm starting to train legs more, and I'm like, okay, I'm making a commitment to do that, but it's not to post online, even though I might do it. That's not the priority. It's just to see okay, you're 45, you'll be 46. What can your body still do at this age and be healthy because I do get those men that are 35 and up that are like, hey, I don't want to see a scalpel. I don't want to see any of that. I want to know how to train. Yeah. What have you learned to keep your health in order? So I have to try to work harder now doing different modalities, you know, like different stretching devices. You guys probably saw me doing the Calciflex the other day.
Yeah,
stretching and stuff.
Mel Chansey told me he bought the thing
Yeah.
that you got.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to Dan Castle. You know, he's amazing. You know, he was Martha Stewart's old manager. And he created that device because he was suffering from back pain. So he just understood.
I've seen. I didn't.
Yeah, he just understood.
Dig into it.
Yeah, it's not just like a regular strap. It's got like over 50 patents and stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's neat. But I think overall, you know,
for real.
Yeah, I think it's all about the modalities that we have, the resources that we have. What a time to be alive. Like you talked about the peptides and all that stuff. Like imagine if we would have had that like 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
I had this. I was telling Jay the other day. I was having dinner over at Milos's house, and there was this guy there, and I told him I had surgery, and my arm only goes up so high.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, here, let me put this tape on you. And I'm like, he goes, lift your arm up. Within 10 seconds, my arm went up completely normal, like I never had surgery.
How's it feel right now?
I didn't put the tape on right. When I took it off, my arm went back down, but I can actually lift it this high.
Did you train hard today, or what'd you do?
No, it's a certain tape Vanessa put on.
You trained?
I did chest. I didn't go. I mean, I kind of went a little heavy on one of the machines.
Getting ready for the expo.
No, he still brags about he does 315.
No, I haven't done 315 in probably 5 years.
Oh,
I haven't tried.
What's the heaviest you bench now?
135.
On bar?
Yeah, if I go to bar, 135. Actually, on a Smith machine, I'll go up to 185.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'll do 275 on the Smith.
Yeah, I'll do that. But that's
usually 225.
He's not 500 migs though.
Oh my god!
what's your tagline? Make the juice work.
Work put that gear. We'll be in the middle of the gym, and he'll be like, "Bro, put that gear to fucking work." The whole gym stares at like,
you know, I don't care. I'm here to walk in and be like, "Yeah,
oh yeah." Training that freaking flamingo, him spitting on the floor. Dude, Jay was terrible. He'd be sweating.
You're the original gym bully.
He would.
Bill loved it.
I would just laugh my ass off like every time. He'd be. We can't say on the air, but like some of the taglines, our inner circle knows what he would say. We would laugh. My God, if he did that today, he'd be canceled.
I know.
Like it was so bad. Everybody
on a random gym. We talked about this the other day. We were looking at this poster. Imagine if
one?
that came up now. No one else in the show. It's just Jay and Ronnie. Everyone else, no one listens.
People would be freaking.
Will Jay beat Ronnie?
This was Olympia. This was the poster for the show.
Why isn't so-and-so on there? It just says Cutler versus Coleman. It doesn't say Mr. Olympia. It's just those two. That's it.
You know, I'm just going to say it because you didn't win.
Exactly.
You know, and look, we have to, I'm just going to say it, and people can get mad if they want. I think we're at a certain point in time in society where everybody's called a goat, a king, a this and a that. Really? For real?
In their own mind.
That's okay. But what are your actions, right? Do your actions equate to that? Your actions. Not on your best day, but on your worst day. Jay, Ronnie, they did it on their best day and their worst day. Okay? I know I did the same. Those are terms that are earned.
Yeah.
That's earned. And that's where all these magazine covers, that was earned. There's only so many magazine cover opportunities per year. There's really only 7 or 8 opportunities because you got the up-and-comer, the current champ,
the old school,
and
always have arms
the lingerie one, and then you got 8 other ones. So I felt like we all had a sense of urgency, a certain of grit and appreciation for what we were doing, to be on a cover of a magazine and to be on that was earned. Okay, well, what about the other guy, the up-and-comer? I'm sorry, I'm just going to keep it real. Like I've been on that, you know, and when I wasn't, I kept the same energy when I was an up-and-comer. I almost felt like I didn't belong on that poster because what the hell did I do? Oh, you qualified for the Olympia. Well, you won a couple pro shows, but you didn't win anything.
Yeah.
When you're at the Olympia, it's about who's going to win. So I get it. Like, I'm not telling Dan and those guys to get rid of it. I'm just saying, like, no one should be pissed if there's just the top 2 guys in the world on a freaking cover or a poster. Like, stop this nonsense. Like, there's only so much stuff that can go on there. Do you really care? And then do you even give a damn? Like the people that bitch about it, like, do you even care 2 weeks later? You probably don't. So then why do you care?
Well, you know what? It ended up being Coleman again, and he beat me in 04.
But I'm saying, but
And then it was again
think
in
about
05. And
right.
It was in 06.
But that's what I'm saying. But imagine like you like okay, so then you get. I could give a damn. Like what are we talking about? Like as a competitor, and even as an Uber fan, like if I'm looking at, let's say an old school Sports Illustrated, and they got like every freaking sports team on the cover. Like there's only one, and there's the one that is the front runner. That's it.
This is why I'm going to go back to there's only one Mr. Olympia. I watched you do it. I watched him do it. I've watched other people do it. And if you don't like me saying that, then go beat Samson.
I was thinking about this pretty hard over the last week because I thought, we could get into some muddy waters with regards to this topic, right? And it's based on emotions, right? I think it's really based on emotions. No one is actually saying that another division didn't work hard.
Not at all.
No one's saying that. I think what we're saying is that when you think of boxing, you always think of the heavyweight champion of the world. Yep. You think of Mike Tyson. You think of Muhammad Ali. You think of Joe Frazier. You think of George Foreman. You're telling me George Foreman couldn't beat a Manny Pacquiao to pieces?
Of course.
Or Floyd Mayweather? I'm sorry, dude. Like these guys would probably put them in the hospital. That's why they're the baddest man on the planet. How it works, right? So when it comes to the Open, I believe because of it being an actual 2-day show currently,
and no restrictions,
you should have a level of pride over all others of saying you're Mr. Olympia because of the 2-day show format. It's an open division. Come one, come all. No one's telling you to go do a different division. That would be like saying, and some people may get pissed off, and this is nothing against the individual or anything like that, but that would be like saying, hey, Steph Curry, would you like to dunk from the free throw line? Would you like to be able to dunk like Vince Carter? You don't think he'd say yes? He'd say, absolutely. I would love to do that. You know why? Because it would just make it more complete. It would be like the ultimate. If Steph Curry could dunk like that, he would be.
That's why he's not considered one of the GOATs.
Right.
No, that's not true. Did you see Allen Iverson's top 5 basketball players of all time?
He said that.
Oh, he put him in there.
Michael Jordan,
Kobe,
LeBron,
Steph. You gotta have Steph.
and Shaquille O'Neal. That's where it's 5.
I actually would have a hard time arguing that because these are all.
It's fair.
Well, because they're all dominant.
And they questioned, that was the one the reporter questioned was Steph Curry, really?
You know what
Steph Curry could literally shoot the ball, turn away, run back on defense, and not look at the ball going through the net. What are we talking about? Like kids, you have to look at people who are trendsetters in the industry. Steph Curry allowed himself such an evolution. He wasn't shooting like that at Davidson all the time. He had to do that eventually. This is a guy that is the most reliable, maybe one of the most reliable shooters out of all those people just mentioned. He was the one that saved the U.S. in the last Olympics. They didn't go to LeBron. They went to Steph Curry on record said, give me the ball. Kevin Durant gave him the ball. LeBron gave him the ball. Fire. And what did he do? Yeah. He flung that thing up with 2 guys on him, dribbling between his legs, flung that thing up and got us the gold. I think that what Steph Curry did was he enabled young kids to think, I may not be able to dunk, but if I work on my handle and my shooting, I could actually play and win. He plays below the rim. We already know that. So that's where it's very interesting, to see. But,
I want to give another analogy when it comes to like just different sports. When they ask Dana White, who's the greatest fighter of all time, he always says John Jones. Okay. If you want to make an argument, take all the people you think they're the greatest of all time, put them in a room with John Jones, and who comes out?
We all know John Jones is coming out of there.
It's similar to bodybuilding for me. There's class that doesn't diminish what other people do, but that Mr. Olympia is in that class.
I don't think I could logically say that if I was, let's say, in men's physique or classic or 212, that I would be able to be better than Ronnie Coleman or Jay Cutler. I'm not going to put myself.
I'll put you in there.
I'm not going to put myself in. You can do that, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't. But it doesn't.
People think you're shitting on the other. It's not.
I just say that it's one of those things where I feel like it's nuanced, like where like guys will say they want more higher weight cap and stuff like that. Then just do open.
Yeah.
Just do open. And look the same. I'm saying like
if someone's a world champion, just don't take that title of Mr. Olympia.
No, dude,
unless you earn it.
I mean, it's tough, bro. Like
I'm saying it. You guys don't have to. I'm saying it.
Well, what do you think? I mean, it's like you can have your opinion, but like 2-day show Olympia, that's tough, man. Like
no restrictions.
With no restriction, that's tough, bro. That's sick.
Who has 2 days besides us?
No one.
No one.
Huh?
Just the men's.
No one.
Everyone else is the same day.
That's why I feel like it's the best. Like it's mano y mano. Like that's
Friday night and Saturday night. All the other ones are. They
Same
have their
day.
pre-judging.
How much better would you be?
Okay, so all the shows, all the competition with the men's open Friday night is all finals.
Yeah.
Well, whoever you see there Friday, they did their pre-judging.
Yeah. So they have the Friday. So like tomorrow night they'll have.
Bikini did it or something.
No.
they're Saturday and
Understand.
Saturday
Okay,
night.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside
So
of the men's open, everyone else is one day.
you talk about suffering, like a person that weighs over 230 pounds, whether you're 5'6" or
So you're
6
going to
feet.
break down all those people?
Oh, to tomorrow night?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Pretty lengthy.
What I have to do is figure out like through the first seconds that they walk out is, really bring some color to the conversation of like who's going to do what.
You have dinner, don't you?
Yeah, I got to head.
Yeah. But, that's the job. I'm glad that I'm there with Tim Wilkins and, we get to mull over these topics. And of course, I don't judge the women because I don't need to be talking about
Who else is commentating with you?
I'm sure Mark Anthony would be back there. Anyone that is probably not. It'll be interesting because
Jen
there's
Dory's going to do it.
Jen Dory for sure.
They'll pull good people.
They'll probably Sydney.
Sid.
They'll probably have Sid.
Yeah.
As far as the men, I wouldn't be surprised if they pull someone that maybe not have made the classic division.
We told Wesley Vissers was here, and he is at
he
breaking down.
he should break it down.
Or will
because-
they have Chris? Because he's
actually
They should.
that wouldn't surprise me, and I would welcome that. I would be very happy to see that because, of course, him being the 6-time champion, he has a lot of wisdom when it comes to that. He's competed against these guys. He knows them intimately on stage and off stage. So we're in for a great weekend because of all these amazing athletes, both men and women. I don't have like a strong prediction.
tomorrow morning.
Okay, so
I don't have the craziest prediction, but I just
edit it tonight. For those of you who don't know, I edit this shit.
okay. Well, we just know this: like someone's gonna win. A lot of people are gonna lose. People are gonna complain. You guys too are gonna freaking run your mouth, and that's what makes the sport great because everybody has an opinion. And the athletes. I wish them all the best. I want them not to get sick, get hurt. Put on a show the best way you can and let the chips fall, man. And understand this: like just because you lose doesn't mean you can't get better. You can get better over getting bitter. And that's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing, man. We all train as hard as we can. We pray about it. We do this, we do that. We cross all the T's, dot all the I's, but sometimes it just doesn't work in our favor. And you just have to continue to move forward.
I want to ask you as this. We never make predictions, but you don't have to answer it. Yes or no. Will there be a new Mr. Olympia Saturday night?
I'm not answering that one.
yes, there will because it's another year.
No, meaning like, is Samson going to lose? I'm not saying who else is going to beat him.
I
can't
prediction.
I can't either. And I'll be honest with you. Maybe next year I could come here and have a more
Be different.
because right now, again, everybody's right there. And we'll say this: Samson won last year. Derek got third, came back, whole new physique,
And beat him.
So they're 1-1 as Mr. O's. So the game's changed.
Yep.
The game's changed.
If Derek wins, it repeats what I did.
Yep. Or if Hadi does.
And I'm going to throw one out there for you. You won 2, lost 1. He won 1, lost 1. It's different. When you won 2, you lost that 1.
And you came back.
People talked a lot of,
It's a two-peat and a loss and a two-peat again.
Yeah.
Like in sports.
So that to me,
It's not just a win
it's
one,
different.
loss one.
In my opinion, I'm bigging you up, but like,
Yeah.
because you're my guy, but like, this is just a fact. Like, you lose
it's a
one
little
year,
different. It's a little different.
you lose 1 year, and you got him back in like 3 months at the Arnold. That's a little different.
No. Even if Derek came back and won it, or if Hadi won it, they won 1 and lost.
Yeah, that's
You
different.
won 2.
It's different.
Like a
man.
back-to-back in sports. Then you lost one. Then you came back and back.
And then I came back and won another.
back-to-back again. That's,
you
it's different.
It's different, bro.
time.
We already know, man. That's a whole nother podcast. But you know what it is. You know what it was, man. People were talking trash and saying that you were this and that and the other, and that's what made 09 so epic. So we're obviously not going to see that this weekend, but we are going to see someone potentially dethrone the champ. Samson has to understand being chased is awesome. I know you don't like being chased, like you were talking about you being the hunter, but I think with Samson, he can have a different mindset of saying like, I enjoy being hunted, because that's what I did. I was like, I enjoy being hunted. Come on over, bring your ass over here. I'm gonna show you what I've been working on.
Because I'm hunting too.
I'm collecting scalps, bro. Like we trying to collect some scalps and a $600,000 check. 600, man.
How many buckets could you get with that?
See, so you know Matt's like slightly.
No,
He's not racist.
I'm not. No.
But we talk trash
You
about
guys
buckets of
if you
chicken.
would've saw it,
I
was
said,
like, he goes.
I said,
he goes.
No,
hey,
you said, what do you want to eat? And I said,
what do you want
buckets
to
of
eat? He
chicken.
goes, bring me buckets of chicken.
And he goes,
I'll put a bucket.
He's like, I put a bucket of chicken. It's gonna.
The same race. They don't know because one of my favorite things.
We love.
buckets of
So
chicken.
Matt and I love buckets of chicken. It just so happens that like people make it like a racial thing. Shame on you. But like,
No.
in all seriousness, no. Matt's my guy. Jay's my guy. Thanks for having me on, man. Like this has been awesome.
Great to see you. Congratulations on the launch of the new company. Thank you for bringing me
Yes.
gummies, the pre-workout,
Yeah.
the hydration.
And if we got
Back
new
over-
flavors of gummies, we need them there. And I need to hide them shits in my safe.
I'm just gonna say another box.
Which one she liked the favorite?
I don't know. She just takes them.
Well, I know a guy. We just ship it to your house like this. I know a guy.
Just put
Don't worry
them
about it.
Matt, not Vanessa, as the thing. She'll still.
I'll just give you guys separate accounts.
There you go. Look at them. They're good, aren't they? That's not like where we're saying this because you're here. They're like ridiculous. They're like candy.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're out.